teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teej Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teej Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends and family? Did we fix the issue from yesterday as far as it being choppy and all of that stuff? Y'all let me know if I need to make some additional adjustments. Let me know inside of the chat. You know what's so interesting here is water in a cup. What's up, V Nicole? Water in a cup. When you go to other countries, you get water in a cup. And it's things that we don't even think about as normalized there that we see over here. And the same way that we used to get like juice, the little juice things, water in a cup. So we good? All right, good. So we made some adjustments. Yeah, water in a cup is interesting. What's going on, friends? How y'all feeling today? Does it taste better? It tastes like water. It don't taste like nothing. It just tastes like water. I will say that anytime you leave the country, thank you, V Nicole. I appreciate you. Anytime you leave the country, because I got some plans today. I think I'm gonna go and see the Jesus statue, the Christ statue. I might go and see that today, see what's happening out here in these streets. Anytime you leave the country, my biggest concern is not safety. My biggest concern is not money. My biggest concern is not culture. It's not language barriers. Can anybody in the chat, thank you, Jay Dreamer. Can anybody in the chat tell me what my biggest concern is when you leave the country? I know y'all probably not going to get it. What's my biggest concern when you leave the country? Food? Nope. Tainted water? Nope. Sickness? Nope. Getting back home? Nope. Crime? Nope. Being able to come back, getting sick? Nope. Power? Y'all got it faster than I thought that y'all was. The intranet. Yes. The good old internet. My biggest concern, the first thing that I think of when I go to a place is Wi-Fi. Now, let me tell you why that is important for me. Because my entire business and communication model is based off of good internet and Wi-Fi. I'll give you an example. I've had to pick up a much more stringent workload because since the Wi-Fi is limited. So when I'm back home, and see, it's the little things that we don't appreciate that we take for granted. We take so much for granted in the US, man. We take so much for granted. Our living conditions, our modern conveniences, our expectations. Everybody got an iPhone where we at. We take so much for granted. So like, for example, being here, and the internet is sufficient, but the internet is not sufficient for a streamer. It's not sufficient for a person that does a ton. And when I say a ton, I mean a ton of uploading and a ton of downloading. And so, in addition to uploading and downloading and streaming and stuff, I also, do pre-recorded content and recording. And I also have to back everything up to the cloud. Part of the thing of backing it up to the cloud is I can send work back and forth to the people back home. So, for example, if I need to send something to your car and it has to be edited, or we need to get some content out and stuff like that, it becomes much more problematic. So, like, for example, I got off the live stream last night on After Hours, and I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna turn the cloud back on so everything can update and everything can upload overnight, and we'll have 6-7 hours of uploading and everything will be clean. And when I wake up in the morning, everything in the cloud, he'll have the stuff that he need, everything will be backed up. I wake up this morning, I forgot to turn the cloud on because I'm used to it just being on. So now I have to pick up that extra workload. And this is another thing that I wanted to tell y'all, is that it's different being a business owner. You know why? Because nobody cares. Nobody cares if your internet is slow. Nobody cares if your internet is slow. Nobody cares about your Wi-Fi speed. Nobody cares about your cloud and your uploading and downloading. Nobody cares if you can get stuff back and forth to the people back home. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know what they want? They want their content. They want you streaming. They want your uploads. They want your pre-recorded. They want their Patreon content. They want all of that stuff. So you got to figure it out. So now I got to re-identify the logistics. Okay, so I'm going to bring this computer over here. I'm going to connect to this connection. We're going to upload on that. We're going to upload on this. And so you trying to revise stuff so that you can make it more conducive for what it is that you're trying to do. But ultimately, you just got to do it, right? That's the life of a business owner, of a business person. It's just crazy. So, yep. Had to get back to the, and this is another business lesson too, is that this is the reason why it's important for me to know how to do everything. Because in the event that I'm facing a situation like this, I can always pick up my own slack. In the event that I can't get stuff over back to the people in the States, that I can't get stuff back over to the producers or the editors and stuff, I could still get stuff done on my own. You got to know your business, bro. People that don't know their business, owners that don't know their business. What if somebody quit? You got a brick and mortar store, you own a restaurant, somebody quit, your chef quit, but you haven't standardized the processes that allow for y'all to still put out the same product. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? People don't think about that. Everybody say they want to open up their own business. Everybody say they want to do their own thing, but ain't no PTOs, ain't no days off. You catching a flight, you better be proactively taking care of business before you get over there and you do whatever it is that you got to do. Ain't no PTOs. You got to figure it out. No matter what the situation is, you have to figure it out. There is no excuses as a business owner. Nobody cares. They want their content. Here's another thing that I wanted to talk about before we get into the show. All right. I was thinking about the conversation that we was having last night on After Hours, in which they was trying to, convince me about the lifestyle and all of that stuff. And yeah, I get it. Everybody's saying that they broke and they ain't got no money, but they still on these flights and they going to the Dominican Republic to buy box and Colombia. I get it. I was thinking about the conversation where we were talking about money, right? But I was looking at it from a different lens. And I looked at a review video that somebody sent me in my email this morning, and it was of people or a person, back in the States. It was a Black woman in particular. And apparently she also had a man in the house, but they were talking about how they need to humble their kid. Like, and I'm not talking about humble them like your bad attitude is bad or anything like that. They were talking about it from the lens like, you gonna get out my house. You're not getting none of this, you're not getting none of that, or whatever, right? And then I was also looking at content where people were saying that they are going no contact with their kids or they going no contact with their parents. And people are basically divesting themselves against they spouses or their siblings or their parents or whatever. And it got me to thinking, why do y'all like to humble your children so much? Like from the perspective of like, why do you want your children to be poor and to be broke? Specifically, y'all daughters. And this is a thing in the black community and the black culture that I see more often than not. I see black people feeling like, and obviously this is not everybody, this is the culture a lot of times, feeling as though they want to humble the next generation or they want to humble their kids or they don't want them to have nothing and all of that type of stuff. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to get rich. One of my sole motivating reasons for getting rich was because I believe that our children are supposed to be great. I genuinely do. Like, I don't understand. Y'all will call a woman, a guy will call a woman, or he'll text a woman, "Good morning, queen." And then his daughter will be living like a POS. I think that one of the ways in which you can vet somebody to figure out if they worthy of being with you or not is to look at how they treat their kids. Our kids are supposed to be rich. What you talking about? If you want to look at how somebody is going to treat you, but you're expecting for them to treat you better than they treat their own kids, why would you think that? Why would you think that somebody is going to treat you better than they treat their kid? If that's supposed to be their prized possession, a lot of y'all women, I'm going to put y'all up on game tonight. We're going to have some uncomfortable conversations. For the women that get with these guys that don't take care of their children, what makes you think that they're going to treat you great? Yeah, he'll do what he got to do to get the box if he desperate enough for it. But why you think if he able to walk away from his children and don't have no conversation, no contact, don't know nothing about them, the kid got to find them when they get older, why you think he gonna treat you great? If a woman is completely abandoned her children, like if she's willing to, because single moms, they're a fun time to be around. Fun time to be around. If a woman is not, if she not completely emotionally connected with her kid and she willing to be away from her kid multiple days in order to be with you, what makes you think she gonna be a great woman to you? I'm genuinely curious. If the sole evaluation is not by what somebody say, but what they do, and the fruit of their labor is the person that they created, and if that is the most important piece, because that's a piece of you, right? That would almost be like God not putting Jesus on the throne. He sacrificed his kid, but so that his kid could ultimately save us, and then his kid is going to be the right hand on the throne, and now we got to go through Jesus in order to connect with God, right? So why would God not value Jesus? Right? The way that he shows he loves us is how he shows he loves his own son, his only begotten son. And so I look at life the same way. Why would I let you borrow my car and yours look like a POS? And I ain't saying that it got to be the most expensive car, but if you don't even wash it, if the carpet is dirty, if it got cigarette stains and butts in it, why would I let you drive my car? Why would I let you borrow my car, even for a day? Because you're not going to treat it better than you treat your own stuff. And so when I look at our children and I look at the way in which we deal with our kids and stuff like that, I'm always confused. I'm genuinely always confused on why y'all trying to humble them so much. Like, don't y'all think that they deserve the world? Ain't you trying to groom them to be the best person that they can be, to be the best human beings on earth? Like, our children is supposed to be great, right? Like, for me, I would like for my daughter to be experiencing first class. Y'all be so busy trying to put them to we all getting to the same destination. No, the food not the same, the air not the same. You sitting by the bathroom, it's not the same. It's not the same. They're princesses. It's princess. I would like my daughter to be treated like a queen, so I treat her like a queen. I can't have higher expectations for the man that come in her life than what her father treated. What is he supposed to do better than I am with the person that I created? I feel like they supposed to. You supposed to be first class ended up. You're supposed to be great. You're supposed to have the best of everything. You're supposed to eat great food. You're supposed to have a place over your head and good clothes on your back and the highest materials. You want them to grow up with a bad back? You want them to be messed up? No, hood prom is dumb. Hood prom to me is the equivalent, having a greater celebration for prom than graduation. Having a greater, that's the equivalent of celebrating a baby shower instead of a marriage to me. We got our priorities so messed up, bro. It's so backwards. It is so backwards. That's why we have more baby showers than marriages, and we have more proms than graduations. I know people that go to prom and they had no chance of graduating whatsoever. They was more concerned about prom than getting their grades up to graduate. Ain't that crazy? I know people that went to multiple proms even after they was out of high school, but they had no concern about their grades trying to graduate. They got their GED, but they went to a whole bunch of proms. What sense does that make? It's so dumb. We got the dumbest culture ever, bro. We got the dumbest culture ever. We focus on the wrong things every single time. Every time. Always want to know where the party at. Always want to, bro, where your money at? I know dudes that's been spending their whole life saying, let me hit that. And now I'm talking about trees. Every time they go around their group of friends, hey man, can I hit that? Hey man, get your, once you get, I'm not a proponent of drug culture at all, but I'm just talking about the mindset of people. I believe that after like 30, you got to get your own trees, bro. Like the trees got to be individual. You got to get your own, but let me get, what you mean you want to take a swig of my drink? Get your own drink. It's plenty of drink over there. Go and get your own bottle. I don't believe in sharing bottles. I don't think that y'all should be sharing trees. What you mean y'all you passing it? You passing the trees? You sharing trees? Y'all both putting y'all lips on the same roll? That's crazy to me. You grown men. You a grown man. You should have your own trees. That's how you get herpes. You talking about let me drink? Nah, you supposed to say let me get one of them, bro. And you supposed to be a contributor. Why you ain't never bringing no drink? You keep coming to all of the house warmings. You go to all of the birthday parties. You ain't never got a gift. Ain't never got an envelope. We go to weddings. We the brokest weddinger people I've ever seen in my entire life. Even the Nigerians have a money party when somebody get married. We just show up to the wedding. You ain't got no wedding gift. You ain't got no envelope to contribute into the bride and the husband. You keep going to housewarmings, eating up all of the food, and you ain't got no gift. What are we talking about? Cheap. We the biggest group of people. We the biggest group of people where a lot of times we got to try to pay for our own wedding. What you mean we got to? That mean that's because you know what that means? That means that there's no fathers in the home. That means that there's no fathers in the home. If you got to try to put your wedding on a credit card or you got to figure that out, that means that there's no father in the home because you're starting off your wedding the wrong way. You're starting off your wedding in debt. You're starting off your journey in debt. That's crazy. Debt on a honeymoon, debt on a wedding, debt on everything. That's insane to me. I'm just breaking down different things that I don't like about the culture that I see that's a financial burden. How you going to start off your whole life in credit card debt? Y'all trying to figure it out and trying to get out of debt at the same time? No, unless you're supposed to be wedding, no worries, no burden. Your biggest burden is supposed to be all of the plans that you're putting together for the wedding. Wedding, home, no credit card debt. That should be the expectation for the culture getting started on y'all new journey together. Prenuptial agreement, wedding paid for, no credit card debt, making sure that y'all get off in a good space in y'all home. That should be the minimum expectation in the culture now. It's not just getting married no more. It's the quality of the marriage and if y'all able to even connect because y'all so focused on arguing over who gonna pay the bills. Nope, no borrowing for a 401k. Don't borrow from your 401k for the wedding. Nope. Nope, new standards in the culture. That's what I say. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We so ghetto, we so hood, we so broke with our mindset. We got a broke mindset. We got a lot to cover today. I'm going to go through Chicago, but I do want to start off with a couple different things. The first thing is, where is it at? I want to share this with y'all really quickly.
Teenage girl who stabbed her boyfriend to death has been sentenced to 17 years in prison. The stabbing happened back in 2024 when both she and the victim were just 17. I'm Jim Barry. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor is your reporter in Miami. He is live in the courtroom where that sentence was handed down just minutes ago. Yvonne.
Jim, no question about the fact that it was a very emotional day. And let's keep in mind that the prosecutors, the state was asking for 20 years in prison for the defendant and 10-year probation. She actually got less. Let's take a listen to the moment when the judge actually read that sentencing.
The court will sentence you to 17 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 5 years of reporting probation. Special condition of that probation, you will have to go a mental health evaluation and abide by adjudication 5 years. Please. 5 years.
So let's remember that it's Giada Malik. She actually she pleaded guilty for manslaughter on stabbing and killing her 17-year-old ex-boyfriend, Jakeem Lollar, football star player. And so
somebody says 17 years is ridiculous for murder, kid gloves. Well, she took a plea deal. She took a manslaughter plea deal, and that's why she got the lesser charge. She took the plea deal.
Today, we heard the relatives of both the victim and the defendant, and the families of the defendant say that they were asking for some sort of mercy for the girl because she had said that she had repented, whereas the families of the victim were asking for justice to prevail because of the time that they have endured without their loved one. So let's take a listen to the moment when the defendant, Yahara Malik, takes the stand, and after that, we'll hear the victim's father.
I was wrong for what I did, and every day I sit and think about the damage I caused. The family wants me in prison, but I'm in my own prison for the rest of my life.
That's how I had to identify my son, by a picture. And he died with his eyes closed and his mouth open, like he was shocked. He was in disbelief. Imagine going through that.
So this crime happened on December 20th of 2024 at an apartment building in Liberty City. Just a few minutes ago, and I don't know if you can see from right behind me, the relatives of both the victim and the defendant, they came up close to microphones and addressed how they feel about this sentencing that was announced today. Evidently, we will have that coming up at 11 p.m. when both families speak of what it meant to have to hear this sentencing.
This is bad. This is a very, very, very bad situation.
And killing her ex-boyfriend, the victim's heartbroken family, asking for justice as the defendant herself says she's sorry for what happened. Local 10's Leanne Monajon is live in Miami with the dramatic day in court. Leanne?
Nicole, the victim's family pulled no punches, telling the judge exactly how they felt about the investigation, the charges, and the sentence they'd like to see imposed in this case. The defendant herself was among several people who spoke on her behalf, but watch until the very end of this piece and you'll see exactly what she had to say for herself just moments ago.
It will always be a fact that you are a murderer. You are a demon seed.
Sheesh. She said you're a murderer. You're a demon seed. Okay. So here's the question that I have for you guys, because I already covered this. I had covered this whole situation a while ago. I don't remember exactly what the timeline was that I covered it. Here's my question to you guys. All right. What should she have got? Because it's no secret that we treat women different than we treat men, justifiably. We don't look at girls in the same way that we look at men. We don't look at women in the same way that we look at men. It just is what it is. I hate to say it. Y'all said, so you saying same treatment? Life in prison, life? Come on, stop. The reason why I say that y'all not being accurate right now is because there's men all day, every day that get out of prison that killed somebody. Maybe if it's a heinous crime like the crime where I went through and I looked at the guy that dismembered his mom or something like that. But it's people that take plea deals that be out of prison that kill somebody all day, every day. So I'm talking about in comparison to men, not specifically what you think she should have got, but in comparison to what a guy gets. Do y'all think that she got justifiably whatever it is that she was supposed to get? Just wondering, just asking. Because I'll be honest with you, I look at women differently than men. I'm biased that way. But I'm able to admit my bias. I don't think that a lot of people are able to admit their bias. I see women in a different lens than I see men. I see girls in a different lens than I see boys. And I'm wondering if I'm the only person that has bias. I don't think that I could be a judge. I don't think that that wouldn't be a good position for me, because I know that I have bias. I know that it's difficult for me to be balanced in that way when it comes to looking at individuals and people. William says, if you ask for equality, then should it be equal? Nope. You know why? Because it's like a kid that run away from the house. It's like, man, listen, you know you a kid. You know that they don't know no better than for themselves. When I look at women in the culture today, right, separately from this, I'll be honest with you. When I look at women and the decisions that they make today, it's hilarious to me. I think that women are the dumbest and most skillful people that I've ever seen in my entire life. They have the ability to tame a tiger. They have the ability, the only tangible thing that a woman has over a man in this society, in this world, is titties and box. That's it. That's the only thing that they have. They're not stronger than us. They're not faster than us. They're not smarter than us. They can't build more. They can't endure more. Their shoulders can't endure more. None of that. But for some reason, some way, somehow, they've been cunning enough to actually be able to exist in this society to where they've convinced culture that they're equal. They've convinced it. So when I look at women, because I'm a man's man, when I look at women in society and they say, oh my God, we want to be equal and ain't no man do this, I think it's hilarious to have conversations about. I think it's hilarious to react to. But in my mind, based off of my own personal experience, I laugh at women and I say, think about it. It's the reason why we don't hit women, because we're not really equal, right? We know that women say, yeah, let's be equal. And if a woman buck up on you, it's like, yeah, what you want to do? And if she hits you, you also have the justification to be able to knock her teeth out. However, most men will be like, man, get this little hood rat up out of here, bro. That's how most men look at it. You know why? Because after all of the marching, all of the justification, all of the internet conversations, I know that I could beat the stank off of you. Not only can I beat the stank off of you, a 14-year-old boy can mollywop. It's the reason why we talk about the WNBA, right? We'll never, under no, I don't care how much they protest. I don't care how many NBA players go to the games. I don't care what kind of contracts that they get. A boys' state championship high school team will absolutely destroy a WNBA championship team. It just is. Like, we know this. We can argue about it. We can go back and forth about it. The reality is that they meet. You're meet. It's impossible for me to see y'all as equals, because I know that we're just different. It's different. If I see my girl sitting here whining and complaining, I mean, I'd be ignoring her. I ignore her like a child sometimes. I take into consideration what she's saying and I ignore her because I know, oh, she just whining. Oh, you just want some attention. That's all it is. I look at you as a vulnerable thing. You can't do anything without me. You can't survive without me. Like you're not going to be able to go out here and do it. You go to a different country. We got to put extra protections in place so you don't get taken like Liam Nielsen. We got to go and check which country you're going to. Oh, man, hold on. Wait a minute. You can't go over there. They'll take you out. You can't go outside past a certain time. But guys, we do what we want to do when we want to do it. If we want to go out at 2 in the morning, we just going out at 2 in the morning. I'll see you when I get back. You know why? Because we just can. We just do what we want to do. When I was a kid, when I was younger, right? And I'm talking about a teenager, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old Summers, the girls in the family always complain. You know why? Because the furthest that they can go after the street lights was on was the porch. This is the honest to God truth. The furthest that they can go. I'm going to call a cousin of mine that I haven't talked to in a while. I don't even know if she can answer the phone.
I use a shifter. Hey, what's up, Anton?
Hey, you busy? I'm on a live stream. I got a question to ask you.
Okay, go ahead.
How old are we? Like age gap wise?
2 weeks apart.
We 2 weeks apart. So we both in April. 2 weeks apart, literally. My mom and your mom are sisters, right? All right, cool. When y'all would come over my house back when we was teenagers and stuff, and I was able to go out with my friends and stuff past the street lights, and it was 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and we would be around the block and playing football and running around. What would y'all have to do?
Stay in the house.
Was you mad at that when y'all was younger?
No.
It was just the norm, right?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think that is?
Because we was girls, so they was trying to protect us.
Thank you. I'll call you back.
Okay, bye.
That was the norm. Wasn't no equal. Wasn't no equal in my family. Wasn't no equal in society. There was no such thing as equal. The girls can come up to the door and come out on the porch and say hi and go back in. I'm the same. We the same age. I'm out in the streets. I was gone. Hey, where Anton at? Oh, I don't know. He said he'll be back. What time is it? 1:45 a.m. All right, he'll be all right. The girls got to be in the house. That was the expectation. It just was what it was. No exceptions, no explanation. They didn't have to explain it to them. The girls already knew that that's just what it was. Y'all stay in the house because you're a girl. Wasn't no equal, wasn't no feminism, wasn't no trying to figure it out. They got it. They stayed in the house. They figured it. They did something else. They played in makeup or something. The boys, we out in these streets, man. So it's impossible. I have a difficult time relating to the men today that's on the internet or that be in a chat sometimes saying equal and all of this and other stuff. And I understand if you're trying to teach a girl a lesson or you're trying to teach a woman a lesson or whatever, but I don't take women serious in that way. I don't look at you the same because my culture that I was raised in, the way that I see things, the way that I see girls, I don't see y'all the way that y'all see yourselves in society. I don't look at you in the same lens. I wasn't raised to see you as my equal. I was raised to see you as vulnerable, smart, but vulnerable, easily taken advantage of, but vulnerable. And so it's hard in any capacity. I don't care if we're talking about court sentencing. I don't care if we're talking about relationships. I don't care if we're talking about kids. I don't see it. It's hard for me to see it. So that's why I asked the question to y'all, because I'm trying to get an understanding of how y'all see life and what do y'all, when y'all see these cases or when y'all see women or y'all see crash outs and stuff, do y'all see it in the same lens that I see it? Because I don't see it in the same way that y'all do. I look at you as oh, that's baby girl. She just whining, man. Don't even trip about it. I don't even take an argument from a woman the same as I take an argument with a guy. If I'm arguing with a guy, I'm like, man, I'm already thinking to myself and I'm planning out, all right, how is this going to go? Because I need to figure out if this is going to go left, if it's going to go all the left, we got to crash out or what. If I see a woman arguing, I'll be like, and I'm talking about in real life. If a chick is coming at me and she goes, yeah. It's like a poodle. I'm a pit bull. I can maul you if I wanted to. I'm not interested. I don't even think about mauling you. I'm just like, man, why y'all arguing with her, bro? Man, don't even trip off that, man. Let her rock, bro. Hey man, she cool, bro. Just let them get it. Let them have it. They got it. Vaughn says, absolutely not. Crime is crime. There's no coming back from death. Fair enough. Fair enough. D. Thomas says, so your ideology is all based off of physicality. It's just based off of life. It's based off of nature. It's based off of the fact that I'm the owner of this earth. What do you mean? It's based off of that, my ordination from God. God says that she's a help me. I don't look at her as anything less than. It's not just physical. The physical attributes actually feeds into why God said what he said. I can look at you and tell, oh, okay, that's why God said that she just to help me, because she ain't built to really compete against me. We destroy them if we wanted to. The GOAT. I'll let you get away with a lot of trolling. I'm gonna let that one slide. You know, I don't know how far you trying to push it. I've been trying to be a lot more generous with letting people say and do and get their stuff off, and you don't want to do that. Just stop, bro. Like you don't have to push it. You could just chill, man. Like I know that you can contrarian. I know that you like to try to be the opposite and stuff like that. And I acknowledge the fact that this is what helps you get your stuff off. I see you in different chats and stuff, but don't push the envelope, bro. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like we can disagree and have conversations without it going all the way left, bro. You know? So, first and last warning. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me see what's going on. Super chats. I'm going to read some of the cash apps and the super chats, and we're going to get it popping. What is this?
Imagine me like a puff ass. No. You wouldn't be. You'd just be passing.
On day 3, post-op hairline lowering transplant, aka forehead reduction, aka hair transplant. Nobody's going to show you what I show you. I'm not going to do a voiceover. I'm literally just going to show you the snippets throughout the day and the entire procedure like you've never seen it before. Yeah, so much to say about my forehead. Well, no, I'm not going to say about my forehead. Close tonight, so we can be anywhere.
Give me a second, Joe. I'm trying to see something.
Oh, yeah? Okay. What do you think?
I think I want to look at ChatGPT and just see what I'm like.
Absolutely. That's what ChatGPT MD comes up with.
Yeah, or I know you're not going to know this.
Okay.
So he would actually look at this.
Give me a second, Joe. Let me see something.
Hello?
Hey, and this, why you say she's responding to me in this TikTok you just sent me?
That's not what I said. I said you had did a video on her a long time ago, and she had responded to that video. And then I was just showing you now that she getting a hair transplant.
Oh, she responded to me on a previous video.
Yeah, it was like a year or so. I don't know if you remember.
Okay. Because I was trying to figure out, like, what is this?
No, I was just showing you who she was.
All right, let me get back to my live stream.
Bye.
Bye. I don't remember her. I don't remember. Man, listen, let me tell y'all something, bro. I do so many videos that I don't even be remembering half of these people sometimes. So sorry about that. If I don't be remembering, if you respond back and you be like, oh my God, I don't agree with you, then I'm sorry. I don't even remember what I said. Mike That Dude says, what up, though? What up to Mike That Dude? I appreciate you. Spencer Campbell. What up to Spencer Campbell? What's going on? What's happening? Eric Harris says, I watched Room 9 this morning. AD, you're right. A lot of us live above our means. Thank you. I'm not crazy. A lot of us live above our means. For example, I live in a major city. To own a car is leverage because we have great public transportation. I don't get it. I was so confused at what they were saying on Room 9 last night. I was like, what are y'all talking about, bro? Manny Plays PC says taking someone's life with a knife is more personal. So I would say 20 years would have been fair sentencing. Jesse V Royalty says, LOL, good morning, AD. Salute to the bag chasers, your family lenient. When the street lights were on, the girls and my family would be in the house, not even thinking about outside. Shin C says, Tefton Don, a.k.a. Tefton Daniels. I like that. Teflon Don, Teflon Ton. The university says, and she not built to resist who she attracted to. That's a fact. Cynthia Haynes says there's only two genders God assigned. The boy is to become a man. The girl is to become a woman, period. Love you, black man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jay Reed. Jay Reed says, saw you in the baby blue Lambo on Mack Avenue. Oh, shout out to the people in the city that be seeing me zoom through. I zoom through. Yo, time. I'll give you the deuces. Oh, I see y'all. Shout out to everybody in the streets. All right. Let me see something. I want to share this other thing with y'all also. And then we're gonna get into Chicago. We gotta get into Stephon Diggs. We got to deep dive into a lot of stuff. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm and make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get to it.
A TikTok content creator is under arrest after he allegedly fatally stabbed a 17-year-old outside his home on Beach Avenue.
22-year-old Andrew Tolinche is known for his TikTok page where he antagonizes people on the street. When the victim and his friends were outside Tolinche's home, Tolinche allegedly stabbed the teen to death.
Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis live in the Melrose section of the Bronx with more. Marcus.
Well, Dave and Liz, we spoke with the victim's mother who is grieving her son, but also pushing back against the narrative online that somehow her son had gone to confront that TikTok creator. She insists her son was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
They see my case and the charges.
For the last year, he's been a polarizing figure on TikTok known as DGB. But this afternoon in court, he was just Andrew Tolinche, arraigned on murder charges. Tolinche is accused of fatally stabbing 17-year-old Jonathan Mello Wednesday afternoon.
I want justice for my son, and I am giving full space for the law.
This is surveillance video of the teenager sitting on the ground awaiting help shortly after the stabbing. Mello was riding with friends on scooters on Beach Avenue, the street where the suspect lives. Recently, there's been a TikTok trend of people traveling to Tolinche's building to troll or taunt the 22-year-old who has a previous arrest for raping a minor. The victim's mother says her son's group happened upon Tolinche arguing with someone in a car when the suspect allegedly went inside to get a knife. Mello was stabbed in the back. Online, theories abound that the teen was somehow involved.
I don't know what false narratives are out there about my son being involved in a social media dispute with this guy. There is absolutely no evidence of that. This is people running with information that they're grabbing from different videos.
Mello, who had no criminal record, was about to graduate from AEC1, a charter school focusing on engineering and architecture. But the teen's mother says JJ, as he was known, was interested in real estate.
I had a wonderful son. I just want him to be remembered for who he was. He was a goofy self. He was the clown of the house, the everything. He was the instigated all the fun stuff.
Tolinche is charged with murder, manslaughter, and criminal possession of a weapon. As for that rape arrest last year, he was equipped with an ankle monitor that prosecutors say placed him at the scene of Wednesday's stabbing. He's now being held without bail.
All right, so let's back up for a second. All right, same question. Same question. How would y'all do this? How would y'all go about charging, sentencing him. Now, of course, we already know that his sentencing guidelines and laws and different things depending on what state that you in, what city that you in. New York City is much different than other places. How would y'all go about addressing this situation? That's a really great question. Where are the fathers? Where are the fathers? You said he went to go get a knife, so 2nd degree. 25 to life, has prior convictions. This is too much even for NYC. Well, let me tell you how I see it. All right. Is this the first TikTok beef that actually transpired in real life? Number one, I keep telling y'all that you got to be careful what you post, because the woman, I get it. She the mother, and so she got to defend the legacy of her kid because she's heartbroken, and she's going to dispute the fact that the kid was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I will also tell you that the kid probably pulled up to the wrong place at the wrong time. And it doesn't justify stabbing. It doesn't justify dying. It doesn't justify killing. But at the same time, if you think that her son was innocent and pulling up to this guy's house because they were able to easily identify exactly where this guy lived based off of whatever it was that he showed in his video, and this is why you also got to be careful about showing in front of your place and all that stuff, especially in a place like New York, right? And so they probably went over there to antagonizing. They probably went over there to confronting. They probably went over there to trolling, and he wasn't in the trolling mood. They probably went over there to bother him and trolling, and he wasn't in the trolling mood. And he said, I bet I'll be back. Went into the house. They didn't think that fat meat was greasy. He probably didn't even want to do nothing, but he had to deliver on it, because you can't go into the, see, this is a guy thing. This is why we need fathers. This is why my father used to tell me life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you react to it. I don't have to fall into the trap of trying to prove something to you. And so it's bad on all sides. Her son shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been in a position where he had to deliver through on the thing that he promised him. Probably told him, hey man, y'all need to get up out of here. It's going to go bad for you. Y'all need to get up out of here or it's going to go bad for you. They probably was trolling, being tough. Probably his friends probably had a battery in their back. Man, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't scared of you or whatever. He went into the crib, got the knife. Then he had to follow through. And he had to follow through. Everybody probably knew that he got charged for being with a minor and stuff like that. And so now he had to follow through. And this is the dilemma of being with a guy. This is why we have to control our emotions. This is why we got to be there for our sons. This is why we got to teach them and raise them, and why we got to be in their life. Because eventually, they're going to be doing 25 to life. And y'all going to get enough of pulling up on people's houses. I keep telling y'all that. Y'all got to stop doing that. Y'all got to stop doing that. And again, I think that is bad. He shouldn't have stabbed a kid. You got to be careful. He probably was fed up because people kept coming by his crib and busting out his windows and stuff like that. But y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop calling people's jobs, pulling up to their house, doxing people and all of that other type of stuff as far as putting their addresses and their information as far as where they work at on the internet. You got to stop that, bro. You can't keep doing that. You can't do that. Because everybody don't play the same way that you play. Everybody not cool in the same way that you do it. Y'all got to stop running up on people in real life, because you don't know how it's going to go. It can go completely left and they could be wrong, but you don't have no recourse because you dead. You don't have no recourse because you dead. And this guy in particular, he should have been very, very careful. Him? Man, that's going to be somebody's girlfriend right there. And he got a previous charge of being with a minor. It don't look good for him, bro. It don't look good. He got to go into segregation immediately. He got to say he feared for his life. He got to be in 23-hour lockdown, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Cause that's somebody's girlfriend. That's somebody's wife now. Oh, cutting the hair don't even mean nothing, bro. Not for these monsters. Not for these monsters. Nope. A regular person could possibly get away. A normal, everyday person could possibly get away with, being normal. For these dudes that's in jail, based off of what my good friend Fleece Johnson say, he said that they don't even see you as a man no more. You know how the girls think you pretty? The boys in the jail gonna think you pretty too. It's a harsh world that we live in. We live in a harsh world. It is harsh out here. It's hard out here for a pimp when you gotta get that money for the rent. It's a harsh world out here. People beefing on TikTok. How y'all beefing on the app? How are y'all beefing on the app that was originally created for kids? Y'all remember when TikTok, y'all remember when TikTok first came out? TikTok, they was doing TikTok dances. That dance where they do it real quick. That's what they was doing. I remember when all of the kids, TikTok used to be for the kids. It used to be for the young people. They said, all right, y'all got Instagram. Y'all got Facebook. Y'all got all of the apps that y'all want. We gonna have TikTok. And they was doing a little dance. And then y'all came on there and y'all infiltrated that too. And y'all took that over. Now y'all killing each other. I went on Facebook today. I literally went on I went on Facebook today for the first time in years. And you know what I realized? I haven't missed one thing. I scrolled up on my timeline on Facebook. They talking about the same thing. What was they doing, Carmen? I went on Facebook today. They have been they turned Facebook is the same. It's the same. The only thing different on Facebook is that the people look older. That's it. They doing the same thing they was doing 10 years ago and 20 years ago and all of that stuff. They doing the same. They talking about the same thing, arguing over the same dumb stuff, posting they little stupid kids and doing the same thing they was doing 10 years ago. I promise y'all, listen, for all of y'all that are thinking about getting off of social media, you haven't missed anything. You haven't missed it. If you was ever thinking, man, but I'm going to miss out on this on social media, you haven't missed out on anything. Go and live your life, divest yourself from social media, and have a good time. I promise you. Let me go on my timeline real quick. Let me see. Facebook. I feel weird typing it. I feel weird typing it. Shout out to my dog, Christian. He cool. Oh, snaps, Barbara. She got married? Floyd Mitchell? Oh, maybe not. That's her baby brother. Okay. What up to Mel? It's gonna be an issue over $100 haircut. Ruby. Coogee advertisement. So you know what I'll be buying. Same thing. Ain't nothing changed, man. It's Facebook, bro. It's Facebook. It's Facebook. It's just Facebook, bro. When you hear your auntie say, "I saw you on Facebook," it's time to get off. I don't feel like I missed anything, bro. Bro, it had been so long since I've been on Facebook, bro. I had to go through about 8 steps to get my password to recover my account. I'm not even using the same email address or phone number. They said verify your phone. It was my old phone number. I said, I can't get on here. I don't know what to do. Marketplace is where the money at. I don't believe you. Let me see. How do you get to Marketplace? How do you get to Marketplace? Let me see. Marketplace, Reels, Groups, Metas, AI. How do you get to Marketplace? Is this it? Marketplace. This looked like a bunch of trash. Why does it say $275 for a Kia? Why does it say $275? 122,000 miles. Whoa! They beat the dog stank out of this car. Look at that ain't even leather. What is that? Heck no. Clean title. Runs and drives. Nah, dog. They washed that joint. Y'all selling lawnmowers. What else y'all selling on Facebook? Nike Air Foamposite 1s. 2019 BMW. Dressers. What else y'all got? Houses. Y'all listening for rent. Good God. Y'all just put everything on here. Turnkey sound systems. 2006 Lexus is $5,000. Okay, so I'm looking at this type of stuff, right? That can't be right. No way that's $6,400. So, for example, I'm looking at this 2012 Buick Regal Premium, right? Now, let's assume for the sake of conversation, why they put the safety rating on it. Let's say for the sake of conversation that this car, you go and you check it out and it's running, right? You go, you check it out and it's running. And it's $1,500. Here's my question to y'all. Because everybody keep telling me about how everything is so expensive nowadays. I'm trying to understand. You can get a car for $5,000 or less. What's up, Montina? You ain't got to buy this one. I'm just talking in general. You can get a car for $5,000 or less. They was trying to convince me last night on the show. Because I see pickups. I see all kind of stuff for cheap. You know how they put the for sale sign on the side of the road and stuff? I see it all day, every day, right? This is what I'm trying to understand. If you can go and get a car for cash and you can minimize your living expenses, where Why do y'all keep saying that it's so expensive just to survive today if you're making 70, 80, 90, $100,000 a year? That's what I'm genuinely, I'm not disconnected. I'm not. Y'all want to live in $3,000 and $4,000 a month apartments. Y'all want to be in the best school districts. Y'all want to do all of the top stuff. That's the first thing I did when I went broke was I went and bought a car cash. I took care of it and I was gone. You don't have to have a car note. You don't have to have a $2,000 iPhone. You don't have to take a vacation. You don't have to do any of these type of things. What are y'all talking about? Why is everybody acting like it costs $1 trillion to survive? I stand on it. I'm going to say it that I believe that it's lifestyle. 1,000%. I believe that everything that we're sitting here having a conversation about is based off of lifestyle. You're not going to convince me that you can't stay, and that's my motto. I've been telling y'all since I got on the Millionaire Morning Show. Stay down for 10 years, live the next 1,000 years the way that you want to do it. Onaka says, Anton, grocery process. Give me a list. Somebody in the chat, give me a list of what we need to go and buy from the grocery store. Let's do it. Let's go shopping. Milk. Let's go to Aldi. Let's go to Aldi. Nope, I don't want to go to Aldi in Geneva. I want to go to the Aldi in Detroit. Let's go to the one in Monroe. All right. So let me see what y'all grocery list is. Anton, all right, go ahead. Me, Preach, Aldi, AD is oatmeal, bread, lettuce. All right, cool. Got you. Okay. So we're going to go to Aldi. We're going to accept all. Skip navigation. Let's see what we got. What? You can get apples, raspberries for $2. This is now these came in clutch. 20 hash brown patties. This was regular. What we would do is we would soak that thing up with butter, throw a little bit of pepper on it, throw that junk in the oven. $5 for like 25, 30 hash brown patties. These was clutch. These was absolutely clutch. You can get fruit for $3. Eggs. A dozen cage-free large grade A eggs are $1.65 for a 12 count. So what I'm trying to understand is where is the disconnect between me and everybody else? Why are y'all sitting here? I seen a person sit there and tell me that eggs, bread, and milk. They went and got 4 things: eggs, bread, milk, and cheese. And they said that they spent $30. They tried to say 40, but they said they spent a little bit of 30. What I'm trying to understand, sharp cheddar cheese, $1.09. Grade A eggs, $1.65 for a dozen. What am I missing here? What am I missing? What am I off on? Because they trying to convince me that the prices is just out of control. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I don't understand. What are y'all talking about? How are y'all not able to survive? What am I missing? Strawberries for a whole pound, $2. Bananas is $6.49 a pound. 50 cents. You can go and get a banana for 50 cents. 50 cents a pound, bro, for a banana. Did I miss something? See, look at you. See, I knew it. The brand types is missing. And that's the problem, is that everybody is faking like they really suffering, but everybody keep on door dashing it. Everybody keep on door dashing it. 5-pound package of chicken breasts. Chicken breasts for $11. $11 for chicken breasts. Nope. You gonna order a burger and some fries for $23 plus tip plus delivery charge from DoorDash. Apples, 3-pound bag for $3. A 3-pound bag of apples for $3. So if I'm off, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. What did I miss? Because I don't care what y'all talking about, bro. Y'all just not gonna convince me. Y'all not gonna sit here and try to sell me on this nonsense. I told y'all I went to Aldi the other day. I went to Aldi the other day. Y'all are disconnected. That's why I'm rich, because I know what the prices are. I know what's happening out in these streets. This is the reason why I'm rich, because I know what's really happening in the culture, and you're not going to sit here and sell me and try to give me this narrative like something is different than what it really is. I went into the store. I seen what the prices are. I know what it costs. I was able to get everything I needed to get for $12. Somebody said, look at other type of grocery stores. But I said, why would I? If you sit here complaining about prices, why would you be looking at anything except for Aldi's? Why are you in Trader Joe's? You're not a Trader Joe type of guy. Trader Joe's was reserved for people that walk their poodles in the morning and can go up and drink their $11 latte. You're not a Whole Foods person. Keep on sitting here whining about costs. Nigga, you make way more than enough. You got death by 1,000 cuts because you're wasting your money. You're wasting your money. You want to be like everybody else. You go to Starbucks every day. You DoorDash every day. You trick on hoes every day. You sit here and complain about your circumstances, but you putting yourself in it. I'm not going for it, bro. You're not going to sell me on anything other than your lifestyle. You've adjusted your lifestyle to fit whatever your narrative is. You went and got an expensive car. You didn't have to do it. You could have bought cash. You put a down payment that was more than you could have bought a car for if you wanted to. And now you're sitting here complaining about your car note. And here's the caveat. You can catch public transportation. You too good for it. You gonna lie to me and tell me, no, Anton, I have to because I live in. No, you can catch public transportation. You absolutely can. You're a liar. You're a liar. You can, you choose not to because you too good for the bus. You're not trying to catch no buses. What if your friends see you driving by? Nope, you ain't interested. You ain't interested even a little bit. See, I'm too good for public transportation. It's funny. I got a Lambo, and I've had cars for a long. I had a 911 parked in my valet. I decided to take the people mover over to Woodward, caught it right at the station. I took the free people mover, and then I took the free train straight up to my office. I was catching public. I had over $500,000 in cars, and I was riding my e-bike to work in the mornings, and in the fall, I was taking a train, and I was going for free. I was riding my e-bike, and I was vlogging it, and I was capturing it, and I was putting it on the internet. Y'all bougie. I'm not going for it. Y'all sitting here and complaining. Y'all creating the environment that you're complaining about, and you whining about it. It's crazy. It's insane. That's why you ain't got no money, because you're tricking it off. Tricking it off at Trader Joe's. You're tricking it off on women. Tricking it off on DoorDash. You're tricking it off on Uber Eats. And then you whining and complaining about what you ain't got. Did I get the flat tire fixed? Nah. I actually donated it. I donated it. It was becoming too much of a headache. I gave it away. I said, hey, little homie, if you can get this fixed, you can have it. He said, oh, my God, really? I said, yeah, you can have it, bro. Crazy. I'm not going for it. I'm going to rehash this conversation on after hours is tomorrow. I'm going to rehash this conversation tomorrow. Y'all fake. Y'all not fake. Y'all ain't broke. You're not broke. You just trying to impress this woman that you with. Trying to live this lifestyle that ain't you. Get rid of the woman and start getting your money together. Show me, Lex. Show me, because I don't believe nobody at this point. Whew, More Than Mellow says, I don't care if she's a woman, 25 to life. Shakur Nash says, what up? How's Brazil? Looks like I can super chat from Antigua. I couldn't from Curacao. I'll watch the replay later. Stay safe. Brazil is cool. I'm about to go outside after this live stream, hit the streets, go look at the Jesus statue, see what's happening. Super Chat's got me broke says, are you going to cover Rubio's White House briefing? I didn't plan to. Just Christian Black said, what up, though? AD always takes the words out of my mouth, says, Naldo. What up, Naldo? What up, friends? Now, what I want to do in the spirit of Lex, oh, man, did I mess that up?
Officials and community leaders are calling for the pharmacy chain Walgreens to reverse its decision to close a location in the Chatham neighborhood on the city's south side.
Speakers say that this closure will greatly disrupt a convenient location for seniors to access their meds. Our Angelica Sanchez is live with their message. Angelica.
Pat and Dina, elected leaders, say that thousands of people in this neighborhood rely on this Walgreens location. They are calling for Walgreens to instead do a redesign of this store, not a shutdown. Now, speakers today say that the Walgreens at 8628 South Cottage Grove has long served this portion of the Chatham neighborhood for essential goods and has become a convenient stop for seniors to access their medications. In a statement to WGN, Walgreens says in part that they are shutting down this location because it's experienced higher levels of theft and violent incidents. They say safety challenges have made it difficult to maintain a secure environment. They say this was not an easy decision. Those gathered argue other locations with similar theft problems were offered a redesign, not a shutdown.
When 12th and State Street had loss prevention, they redesigned. Again, this neighborhood is not broke. These people behind us have good jobs, retirees, and they want a quality medicine option in their neighborhood.
So this Walgreens, like many other Walgreens inside of Chicago, is closing down. The reasons why it's closing down is A, safety, B, theft, and C, it's not profitable to operate in this neighborhood anymore. And so what the people in Chicago, including this alderman right here, is saying is that they want Walgreens to spend hundreds, if not over $1 million, redesigning the whole store to prevent people from stealing so that they can continue to serve the community in an unprofitable store. That's also a safety issue for their employees. It's Walgreens' fault that y'all have a theft problem, y'all got a safety problem, y'all got a cultural problem, and y'all can't get y'all neighborhoods together. It's Walgreens' fault. So Walgreens has been shutting down locations that's unprofitable, that they can't make no money from. And the alderman's response, he's saying that the responsibility lies on the company to redesign so that they can stop people that keep trying to steal instead of fixing a theft problem and a cultural problem. Y'all know that there are places in this country, neighborhoods and cultures that you can go into and it's the honesty program and they don't steal? Did you know that there are places that you can go to in this world where you don't have to worry about your car being gone as soon as you park it outside? You do know that, right? Do y'all know that there are places that you can walk around in the neighborhood and not get robbed? You don't have to worry about getting carjacked. Y'all know that there's places in this country where people still walk to school without having to worry about getting snatched up. How is it Walgreens' responsibility, Chicago, to ensure that you guys have a store to get your pharmacy, medicines, pills, and all of this stuff, but you don't hold accountable? Because remember, in this state, they have been passing through soft laws, the Safety Act. They've been being woke. The mayor is reducing the amount of people that he's hiring to the police, all of this type of stuff. So everything is bad in the culture. And they telling y'all, listen, it's going to be a food desert, whatever, so on and so forth. You sitting here talking about how much money you got, but you're not sitting here talking about how they need to fix the culture so that y'all can keep a store open, a store. It's amazing to me, bro.
Now, Walgreens says that the shutdown is scheduled for June 4th. Prescriptions will be transferred to nearby locations. Patients of this location, however, will be eligible for home delivery for at least 90 days while this all unfolds. Now, meantime, towards the end of this press conference, one of the aldermen here says that they do plan to reintroduce an ordinance where corporations that get TIF money for development and later leave the neighborhood will have to pay or be held accountable to pay some form of TIF receipt for those funds. Live in Chatham this morning, Angelica Sanchez, WGN News.
Hey, have you noticed, and check this out, they removed the 24 hours off that joint. You see where it say 24 hours, they removed that. No more 24 hours. If you drive by a store, let's say, for example, you're about to buy a home in that particular area or that neighborhood, and you see the 24 hours removed, but you can see the outline of where 24 hours used to be, get up out of there. It's not for you. It's time to go. Time to go.
WGN News.
On the south side, people showed up to push back against a Walgreens closing. The doors are set to close next month. Walgreens says it's due to safety issues, but it will leave thousands without nearby access to life-saving medication. Tia Ewing has more.
Everybody say Walgreens do right by us.
Walgreens do right by us.
Black people are so performative. We so performative. Hey, who printed these signs, bro? Who got these signs made up? Is this a part of the campaign fund? Yo, everybody say Walgreens do right by us. Walgreens do right by us. Man, I be God D if I'm sitting outside of a store in the middle of the daytime with a sign talking about Walgreens do right by us. Yo, if y'all see me in front of a Walgreens with a sign saying Walgreens do right by us, something is really, really wrong with my life. I need you to get my mental health checked out. I need y'all to get my mental health checked out. Yo, you know how messed up the community is? Let me tell y'all how messed up the community is, bro. Y'all want to know how messed up the community is? Do you know how messed up the community is? We are so messed up in the culture, in the community, to where we expect for a company to remain unprofitable to serve us. We should be able to steal, and they should be required to stay open. I seen black people going crazy about Spirit Airlines. I can't believe y'all wishing Spirit Airlines would go out of business. Y'all just don't want us to fly cheap. Y'all just don't want us to fly cheap. I said, what? What? There are people, we'll get there. We'll get there. Next segment. I'll share with you in the next segment.
Community members, leaders, and families rallied, saying the loss of this Walgreens at 86th and Cottage Grove won't just close a store, it will take away a critical lifeline.
We're not here to beg Walgreens to stay. We're saying that their decision is the wrong decision. And in my opinion, it should be considered a first-degree corporate crime.
What? I think something is wrong with me, man. I do, dog. I think something is genuinely wrong with me because I don't know why I find everything so hilarious. He said it should be a first-degree corporate crime. Who are y'all city council people in Chicago, bro? What is a first-degree corporate crime? What does that even mean? Y'all just making up terms as y'all see fit? You just winging it? Every day you just gonna go ahead and throw a new term out. First-degree corporate crime. This dude, hold on, bro. This dude said that should be a first-degree corporate crime.
Decision is the wrong decision. And in my opinion, it should be considered a first-degree corporate crime.
And then the people in the background, yes. Preach, preacher. Yes, preach. For sure. Fight the power, people. Fight the power. So it's a crime for me to decide that I don't want to do business here anymore because I'm unprofitable and I want to close my store. What? What are you talking about?
Because the amount of people that will be hurt by this.
I actually looked up this location and I realized it's another Walgreens literally a mile up the street. There's another Walgreens 1 mile up the street and people are complaining about this one. I got a solution. You want to know what my solution is? Since black people and the culture and the communities and all of these places are so determined and they say that this is a profitable business for Walgreens to be into, the store is still going to be there. The Walgreens sign is going to be removed. Why don't y'all open up your own, what is it, Chicago, started with a C, call it Callgreens. Do a Shagreens. Why don't y'all open up Shagreens? Y'all resourceful, Black Wall Street, pull y'all money together and open up Shagreens. Get somebody in the community that went to school for pharmacy and have them run it. Go through all of the regulations to become a licensed pharmacist and become Shagreens, Rat Greens, Cabrini Greens. Yeah, what you know about Cabrini Greens? Call it collard greens. I think that y'all listen. This is the perfect opportunity. Everybody was against corporate chains, big business. as y'all see corporations move out, I think that y'all need to move in, replace them, and improve. I'm being serious. I think y'all should improve the business model. Since y'all think that it's a first-degree corporate crime, I think that y'all need to open up your own pharmacies and stores inside of the. This is not, if you're looking at it with a glass half full mentality, then this is not, because y'all said that y'all got money, right? So just open up a new pharmacy. Gangrenes. I think that they should open up a new pharmacy. What's the cost to open up a pharmacy? Oh, baby girl. See what she say. Baby, what's the total cost to open up a pharmacy?
Starting a pharmacy can really cost a lot, depending on where you open it, the size, and all that good stuff. Generally, you might be looking at anywhere from $400,000 to over $1 million. That includes things like renting a space, buying the initial inventory of medications, equipment, licenses, and having some cash on hand to keep things running while you get established. Is there a particular region or type of pharmacy you had in mind?
Yeah, I'm thinking about opening up a pharmacy on the south side of Chicago.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Opening on the south side could definitely have its own considerations, like local real estate costs and the business environment there. In Illinois, startup costs can range from about $140,000 to almost $1 million, again, depending on size and location. You'd want to factor in state licensing requirements and make sure you have a good working capital reserve. Have you looked into specific areas on the south side yet?
No, but I noticed that you said it's an interesting idea. You didn't say that it was a good idea. Why don't you think it's a good idea? Because see, I'm paying attention to you. I'm learning your ways, baby girl.
Oh, you're definitely paying attention. When I say interesting, I mean it's a significant undertaking with lots to consider. Not that it's bad. There are always challenges and opportunities in any business, and a pharmacy on the south side would have its own specific market, competition, and regulations. Whether it's a good idea really depends on your business plan, funding, and how you manage all that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think you're skeptical. I don't think it's a good idea because I think that the business conditions on the south side of Chicago might be less than ideal, because I've seen Walgreens is closing a store over there.
You bring up a good point about Walgreens closing stores. That definitely could point to challenges in the local market. On the other hand, some people might see the lack of existing pharmacies as a chance to fill a need for the community, especially since it's been called a pharmacy desert. Ultimately, it comes down to researching the specific area very carefully and seeing what your unique business could offer. What other things are you thinking about that might affect the success?
I don't know, just the income level, the crime, mainly the crime. Don't nobody want to deal with all of that crime over there on the south side of Chicago. The mayor, he's less than ideal. I see they losing businesses and raising taxes. So it's a lot of barriers to entry that you'd have to go over in order to ultimately open up a business. And I don't think that the people over there will appreciate it.
I get it. Crime and economic challenges are definitely huge concerns for any business owner. It can make things tougher, from safety to operational costs. You're weighing a lot of real factors that would need a strong plan to address. It sounds like you're convinced the headwinds are just too strong to overcome. Is there anything specific that might change your mind, or do you feel pretty set on that?
What are the licenses that you need in order to run a pharmacy?
To run a pharmacy in Chicago, you'll need a few key things. First, you need a state pharmacy license from the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation. If you're dispensing controlled substances, you'll also need a separate controlled substance registration and a DEA number from the federal government. Beyond that, you need provider identification numbers for billing with insurance and PBMs, and possibly some local city permits for things like signage or business taxes. Does that give you a general picture?
What are the costs of all of these things? What are my ranges? What am I looking at?
All right, you're looking at a few different costs. The main state license for the pharmacy in Illinois is typically around $600. If you're dispensing controlled substances, the federal DEA registration can be another roughly $800 or so, though those fees can change. The state controlled substance registration might be on top of that, and there are smaller fees for things like provider ID numbers. So just in licensing and registration, you could be looking at around $1,500 to $1,600 or more, depending on your specific setup. Does that give you a clear picture of that part of the cost?
Yeah, what are the barriers to entry? So like, what are the qualifications that I have to have outside of just applying for the license? Do I have to be licensed myself? Do I have to have an actual pharmacist as a person that is heading up the store? What exactly does that look like?
Yeah, those are key barriers. You don't necessarily have to be a pharmacist yourself, but you do need to have a licensed pharmacist in charge of the operations. In Illinois, they call this the pharmacist in charge, or PIC, and they have to be licensed in the state. Also, the pharmacy facility itself must meet specific requirements for security, storage, and compounding space to pass inspection before you can open. Are those clear, or were there other areas you were curious about?
So the barrier to entry to opening up a pharmacy itself is not that big. It's not that big of a deal. Like, it sounds like the main cost is not in licensing. It's not in the paperwork that you need from Illinois itself, but it sounds like it's more or less about the startup cost from actually building out the store itself and the space that you're going to be operating the pharmacy out of.
You're right that the build out and physical space costs are generally the bigger part, along with initial inventory. The license and paperwork, while detailed, is mostly about compliance. However, those barriers for the space and finding the right pharmacist in charge can still be significant hurdles, depending on your specific plan and location. Is there anything else about the physical setup you're thinking about?
How much, what's the average salary of a pharmacist?
On average, pharmacists in the Chicago area can make around $140,000 or $150,000 per year. It can vary a bit depending on experience, the type of pharmacy, and sometimes the specific neighborhood. Are you thinking about hiring someone or just curious about the market rates?
What are the margins for a pharmacy? Remove the facility, remove regulations, taxes, licenses, as far as the gap between what you acquire the product for and what you sell it for. And then also give me some insight on am I regulated as far as how much I can sell a product for versus what the government is telling you that you're limited to.
It's not quite like that. Generally, for prescriptions covered by insurance, the prices are mostly negotiated by insurance companies and pharmacy benefit managers, so you don't have total control. There are also laws against price gouging, especially for essential or generic drugs. However, for cash paying customers, you might have more flexibility, though you often want to be competitive with discount programs. Is there a specific type of product or pricing situation you're thinking about?
No, in a general sense, I'm trying to figure out what the margins are for a pharmacy as far as how much it's costing to get initial inventory versus how much you can sell it for.
The margins are actually pretty different between name brand and generic drugs. On generic drugs, you might be a much higher margin, averaging around 40% because they're cheaper to buy and the profit percentage is better. For brand drugs, the margin is usually lower, maybe around 3 to 5%, since they're expensive to get and the system reimburses less. Independent pharmacies typically aim for an overall gross margin of around 20 to 25% to stay profitable. Does that clear up the difference for you?
Yep, I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. If you have any more questions about pharmacies, business, or anything else, just let me know.
All right, baby girl.
Have a great rest of your day.
Can you draw me up a business plan for opening up a pharmacy on the south side of Chicago? Margins include margins, licensing include startup costs as far as the actual locations, possible rent, and also include the cost of technicians and pharmacists.
Definitely hope you sketch out a plan. For starters, we want to think about where exactly on the south side you want to be, because that can impact rent and competition. In general, your startup costs could be anywhere from $300,000 to over $1 million, depending on the size and location. And that covers things like renovations, inventory, equipment, and initial licensing fees. For licensing in Illinois, you'll need a state pharmacy permit, DEA registration, and probably some local permits. Rent, again, varies heavily, but it's a significant ongoing cost. And then for staffing, pharmacists typically make over $120,000 a year in this area, while technicians are usually in the $35,000 to $50,000 range.
But I only need one pharmacist, so I can have as many technicians as I want, right?
You'll definitely need one pharmacist in charge. But as for technicians, there are regulations about the ratio, so you can't just have as many as you want. The State Board of Pharmacy will have specific rules about that, usually limiting how many technicians are supervised by one pharmacist at a time. We should double check that. Does that make sense?
Yep, perfect. All right, thank you.
Actually, I just checked, and it looks like Illinois doesn't have a specific ratio law. They leave it to the pharmacist's judgment to make sure they can provide proper supervision. That gives you more flexibility in staffing. Is there anything else in the plan you'd like to go over?
Nope. Just develop a plan and then we'll refine it as you put it together.
Understood. I'll put together a draft plan, focusing on finding a good corner in South Chicago, budgeting for those startup costs and licenses, and factoring in the cost for your pharmacists and technicians. We can tweak it from there. Just let me know when you're ready for the first look.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all. I'll let you know when I have that first draft ready for you to look at.
All right.
We're working on it, making sure.
I got you. Go, just work on that. We cool. All right. Let me see what's going on out here in these streets. You can increase the margins if you can minimize your costs. If you run it like a business instead of running it the way that Walgreens and CVS ran it, you can scale it up. And you can control your costs depending on how you store your inventory, and you minimize actually selling all of these other products that go along with it. If people are just going there to pick up their prescriptions and you sell more generic drugs, you can actually justify this as a business. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
The amount of elders that will not have access to health care is evil.
Walgreens says the store is closing due to safety concerns, including theft and violence. But residents say that doesn't match what they see day to day.
The lie that they're telling us is it's a health or a loss prevention issue. When 12th and State Street had loss prevention, they redesigned. Again, this neighborhood is not broke.
The nearest pharmacy will soon be more than a mile away, a distance residents say is especially hard for seniors.
It has been a lifeline for many. It has been a place where seniors walk, sometimes slowly, sometimes with assistance, but with dignity, to pick up their medications that keep them alive. Not across town, not 2 bus rides away, right here in their community.
For families managing serious health conditions, consistency is critical.
29 years, my husband has dealt with kidney issues. 2-time transplant, I donated the second one. Walgreens has been a staple in our lives where we come for medication. Being a transplant recipient, that means he's on lifelong medication, something we don't have time to search for, to find out where can we get what he needs.
Over a year ago, Walgreens shuttered locations in Bronzeville, Little Village, South Chicago, and South Shore.
I don't know why Rod keeps saying that the margins are bad. The margins are good. Anything that's above 10% is usually considered good. I don't know where you got that from. If you can open up a physical business and have gross margins above 20%, you're doing incredible. I have no idea why you're saying that that's not great. That would be phenomenal. Any gross margin, if you can get a return on your investment, right? If you're getting a return on whatever it is that you're doing above 10%, it's generally considered good. It's not true. I don't know where you got that from, bro. And you can control cost even more in which you can increase your margins. The question is really about scale. We'll talk about it inside of the Patreon. I'm gonna present this inside of the Patreon about what this has developed for me, and then I'm gonna take it and refine it and see if it's something that we can invest in.
Another specialty pharmacy is set to close on 71st Street in the coming weeks. Residents say this shows there's a pattern.
They closed 63rd and King Drive. They closed 63rd and Halsted. They closed 47 in Ashland. They closed 63rd in Kedzie.
To pick up prescriptions, it takes people 45 to an hour.
Prescriptions will be automatically transferred after the store closes June 4th to a location about 1.5.
You said, when is the next Patreon? As soon as I get back into Detroit. So it's probably going to be Wednesday next week. The next Patreon class is Wednesday. Live stream is Wednesday next week. All right. Wednesday next week is probably going to be the next Patreon class.
3 miles away on East 87th Street, and patients will be eligible for 90 days of free delivery, but not everyone has reliable transportation.
My aunt lives 4 blocks away from this Walgreens. She just recently got out the hospital to have emergency surgery. She doesn't have a vehicle.
That sounds like a personal problem, ma'am. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. 8 is forever says, AD, did you cover the 17 schools being shut down in Philadelphia?
The results of the vote to close more than a dozen Philadelphia public schools are in. Shouting matches broke out. The meeting had to be put on hold twice, and the board finished voting virtually when tensions reached a fever pitch. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington. The School District of Philadelphia's facility plan passed. Here's Ross DiMattei.
Disdain and disorder dominated Thursday night's Philadelphia Board of Education meeting after members voted 6-3 in favor of approving the district's controversial facilities master plan.
It was cowardly and ridiculous. They said they felt threatened. No one threatened anything. Yeah, we're angry. We yelled, what? You've tied our hands and you've tried to force this down our throats.
The meeting was constantly interrupted by the contentious crowd. Of the hundreds who showed up, the overwhelming majority voiced their opposition to the 10-year, $3 billion plan that calls for 17 schools to be closed.
No one is fully committed to this plan. No one on that board is invigorated or excited or saying, putting their full chest behind it, saying this is going to work, this is going to save us.
At one point, a group of city council members, led by Isaiah Thomas, directly confronted the board members, pressuring them to vote in person and threatening to block their reappointments if the plan passed.
They have not provided.
It's all performative, y'all. Are we going to get into the logistics of closing schools and the costs and everything like that? But it's all performative. It's 1,000% performative. When you see these city council members, let me tell you something, bro. When you see these city council members and they at these meetings, all right, Lex, I got you back. When you see these city council members and they're at these meetings and they're pointing out and they're saying, oh my God, I can't believe that you're closing these schools. They knew this a long time ago. They knew what was happening and what was being proposed. I have friends that are city council members, and they know everything that's coming down the pipeline way before it come down the pipeline. This is not new information. This is not a new proposal. This is not new insight as far as the budget and the problems that y'all experiencing inside of these schools. None of this is new. All of this they know before it ever gets to the point to where they're voting on it. And let me tell you something else. They already know what the vote is going to be. And so when you see these people looking outraged, I can't believe it. They doing that for the cameras, bro. They clout chasing. They doing it for the cameras. I go to city meetings or I listen in on city meetings. Do you know that I have an assistant on my staff? And this is the honest to God truth. I have an assistant on my staff that every Tuesday and every Tuesday, they go and they listen to different meetings from different cities about what's being approved, what's not being approved, what's coming down the pipeline. A lot of the information is public information, and they get the insight from behind the scenes of what's coming down before they even present it at the city council meetings. And so all of this is information. I know what's happening. One of the reasons why I see the opportunities before y'all do, or I see the plays being made, is because I'm integrated into what's going on with the cities. And I ain't just talking about just the city of Detroit. I'm talking about all of the surrounding cities that I do business. Any place that I have a business or I'm prospecting how I'm going to do business or looking at the culture of what's happening there, part of my research is looking at what's happening in the city council because I got to work with them. I just got a phone call the other day. And he said, hey, is this Anton? I said, yeah, this is Anton. He said, yep, I got that $28,000 charge that they were trying to charge you removed from your whole situation. I said, oh, really? He said, yep, got it taken care of, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. Thank you for taking care of that for me. If you want to get stuff done, if you want to find out where the money is, if you want to be able to make a play, then that's how you do it. You have to be integrated. You have to figure it out. Save me $28,000 by just knowing a person that's on the board that presented over to the city council, connected with him, wouldn't make my pitch, and got it done. Win made my pitch and got it done.
In person and threatening to block their reappointments if the plan passed.
They have not provided an opportunity for the community to be at the table. They have not provided an opportunity for council to be at the table, and they're just trying to ram this down everybody's throats. We are not going to stand for it.
In an effort to let the crowd calm down, the board left the room for a short recess, not once, but 2 times. The meeting was ultimately moved online so the board members could cast their vote and defend their decision, arguing the plan will modernize more than 160 schools and expand students' access to a high-quality education.
They're going to lose good teachers. They're going to lose good students. They are going to lose a lot of support. I hope they're happy with this plan and what they decided on.
So the master plan was approved, but questions still remain, like how the district plans to pay for it. It comes with a $3 billion price tag, and so far officials say the district can only cover $1 billion of that, meaning the rest of it will have to come from outside sources. In Spring Garden, Ross DiMattei, CBS News Philadelphia.
They already know what's coming down the pipeline, bro. I'm telling you that they know what's coming down the pipeline way before it comes down. And I spent a significant amount of resources investing in cities in Oakland County and in Detroit. The only reason that I'm saying this is because I got to fly to Brazil on Monday. So if we table it for a week, I'm not sure that I'll be here to be able to see it.
Well, you can take us to Brazil with you, and we'll deal with it there.
So I just wanted to add that in there. But I am investing a significant amount of money. We did do our due diligence because that is one of the requirements in order for you to be able to, participate in the Oakland County auction. So I go to the meetings, I take care of business, I do what I have to do because it ultimately is going to result in you generating a significant amount of revenue, right? You got to go up there, you got to present your case, you got to talk about it, you got to build the relationships. Once you build the relationships, you can start getting stuff done. Once you build the relationships, and you got to let them know, hey, I'm building a significant amount of this. This is what's going on. They will make sure and they will speak on your behalf. They will take care of business. And I'm going to pull up the same way that I'm always pulling up. I got my black bag chaser hat on, whatever, so on and so forth. You have to get involved in your cities. You have to get involved in your schools. You got to get involved. You can stave off. You can figure it out every single day. You can find out what's going on in your cities. All you got to do is show up. All you got to do is show up. Now, let's get to this whole 17 schools closing situation, right? Because you're going to see a bunch of teachers and you're going to see a bunch of protests. Why are all of the closures in black and brown neighborhoods? They're going to make it a racial thing like they see with this, right? They're going to make it a racial thing. But here's the key. This is what's happening. Let me break it down from an economic perspective, because it's not just about closing schools. It's about the budget. It always comes down to the money. And I'm not just talking about how much revenue is being generated from taxes. I'm talking about how they've been managing y'all money for decades. That is going to be the determining factor for how your schools survive and the quality of the education that your children get. And I'm going to give you a caveat when I get to the end of this, and you don't want to stay for that one. These cities, and I've been telling y'all this, and this is the reason why I keep telling y'all that, whether you go to Philadelphia, whether you go to Chicago, Chicago is dealing with a $734 million budget deficit, annual budget deficit when it comes to their schools. They have money to make sure that they give to the illegal migrants. Spend billions on illegal migrants, billions. Notice how the school districts had no problem. The city had no problem paying contractors and coming up with the money to make sure that they pay all of these companies when they were servicing illegal migrants. They went into debt, had special meetings, approved special things to ensure that they serviced whatever it is that they wanted to service and found the money that they need to find it. But let me tell you what's really happening. These school systems, these teachers, these cities, they are in crippling. One of the reasons why you're going to find people think that I rail on Chicago because I think that Chicago is a bad city. I don't think that Chicago is a bad city. I think that the leadership is a reflection of the people's interest in Chicago, which is why it has to fall. Chicago is the old Detroit. Chicago is the old Detroit. I've lived long enough to watch this happen in real time, and I'm literally watching it repeat itself in multiple different districts all across the U.S. We're going to talk about it, Lex. It's the old Detroit. You have to fall, and y'all fall is going to be worse because regardless of what your downtown touristy bada bing look like, you can't outrun the budget. Y'all keep on getting a credit downgrade, which means that the cost of borrowing money is going to be even higher. The cost of the money that you got already on the books is even higher. They don't have the resources. The crime is going to continue to go up. They're going to continue to juke the stats. It's going to get worse. More businesses is going to leave. And the solutions that they're coming up with in order to fix it, it's not going to fix the situation. You know why? Because you can't tax your way to wealth. You can't put more pressure on the people that's already paying the majority of the taxes and saying we're going to take money from you in order to fill our... And they're not fixing the problem. Remember this. When they propose that we're going to tax more so that we fix the problem, They're not fixing a problem. They're giving you a temporary stopgap. So let's say, for example, that they tax more money and they generate more revenue, and then they say, okay, well, we're going to put this on this, we're going to put that on that. It doesn't alleviate the debt. It doesn't alleviate the bad spending. It doesn't alleviate the bad legislation. It doesn't alleviate what the problems are. You know, the uncomfortable thing that a politician would have to say if they really wanted to be honest with y'all on how to fix a city is that we're going to suffer for the next 10 to 15 years, maybe even 20. That's the truth. In order for you to get your way out of this situation, you have to suffer for the next 10 to, there's going to be, and then you have to do everything right when you suffer. Listen to what I'm saying. Y'all got to go back. If y'all, only way you can dig yourself out of this, it's inevitable. It's like Thanos. You have to literally cut off anything that you think, any promises that you make for people, and tell them it's going to be hard for the next 10 to 15 years. We're not going to be able to give you a tax break. We got to dig ourselves out of this hole. We got to remove the debt, improve our credit rating, and then we have to then invest after we dig ourselves out of the hole and put ourselves in a better position. The only thing that we can spend money on is maintaining infrastructure at a minimal level, public safety, and that's it. We got to put a freeze on everything. That's the only way you can get out of it. It's the only way. You're going to be suffering for the next 10 to 15 years. Now, if we dedicate ourselves and we suffer for the next 10 to 15 years, then we can dig ourselves out of it. Otherwise, we're going to have to file for bankruptcy, do a reorganization, have a city manager come in on top of us, and then we're going to have to figure it out from there. It's the only way. You don't believe me? Watch this. Question is, how much is Chicago in debt? Because remember, the budget, the city budget is based off of, and I want to teach all this from a very basic level. This is the thing that politicians do not want to talk about. The city budget is based off of an annual spend. How much we have for police, how much we have for infrastructure, how much we have for city services, how much we have for garbage pickup, how much we have for schools, how much we have for A, B, C, and D, right? Chicago has a massive debt burden. Their bonds, that's the amount of money that they borrow in order to do special programs, do whatever it is that they want to do, whatever you guys approve from your voting. So a lot of this is a burden that came upon you for those of you that came of age. If you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, a lot of these same things are upon you because the generation before y'all voted the wrong way and they approved all of these bonds that then your leadership used in order to justify fixing the budget. But guess what? Somebody got to pay for that. And so right now, their bonds and loans are $30 billion. So in addition to paying all of the alderman's salary, paying the garbage men, keeping the city running, infrastructure, city services, their debt is $29 billion. I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you. And here's the thing. Their credit rating goes down. So the amount that they pay on the interest of the debt goes up, and that goes against the city budget, which is one of the reasons why they keep raising y'all property taxes and why they keep telling y'all that, hey, we got to go over here and we got to try to get some money from the billionaires in order to plug the city deficit in the holes. When including liabilities, including pensions, the financial hole increased to $41 billion. And the city 2026 report noted that the city is owed over $8.1 billion that they can't collect in fines and fees. And here's the key. This is how you know you're going into bankruptcy. This is it right here. The city's total net debt outstanding increased 32% from 2014 to 2023. And guess what? It's getting worse. So when y'all see a budget shortfall of 1.15 billion, 1.4 billion, 1.6 billion, next year it's going to be higher. What you think that this $41 billion obligation is going away? Y'all think that it's not going nowhere. It's still there. It's ballooning. It's going up. It's going up. It's going up. They haven't fixed this. They haven't fixed the city. It's going up. This is not my opinion. These are all 100% facts. 100% facts. It's went up already 30, almost a third. The credit rating went down. The amount that y'all holding in debt. See, a lot of y'all focus on the national debt. Y'all focus on, well, how much is the national debt? Nigga, you need to be focused on what the debt is in your own city. Just look at your own city. Meanwhile, check this out.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is getting ready to go to Springfield, where he's going to be lobbying to restore local government redistributive funds, also known as LGRF. So this is money that the state collects that you pay into. It comes from state income tax. So this money is then funneled back to cities and towns. Well, the mayor says our state lawmakers are cutting the share of revenue that municipalities will receive. And the mayor argues
now, let me
cutting
show y'all,
that money impacts public safety, infrastructure, and community programs.
Let me show you the difference. So you've seen that Chicago have $41 billion in debt, right? I'm going to show you the difference. All right. This is Detroit's debt. Detroit, on the other hand, as of 2023 through 2025, the city's long-term liabilities have been significantly reduced, with roughly $651 million to 927 million in outstanding debt, while managing an improved investment grade rating. So when you look at the prospects and where you want to invest, I'm not looking at how you feel about what the media says. I'm looking at the numbers. We have less than $1 billion in debt and increasing. And not only that, we paying down our debt. You know how I know we paying down our debt? Because we've had 11 consecutive years of surpluses. So you're looking at $41 billion in debt and climbing and a lower credit rating. And we looking at $651 to $927 million, $27 million in debt and a climbing credit rating, which means that the interest that we plan on the loans is lower. And you know what we using the money that we borrow for? Blight removal. Blight removal. The reason why we got as high debt as we do is because we issued a bond for $250 million for blight removal. And we got $550 million in reserves as of 2025. As a city, we're in better financial standing. Blight removal is removing any abandoned house, making sure that we offload any building or structure that is costing the city money to put it back on the tax rolls. Anything that negatively looks bad on the city, they invested in making sure that they removed it and get it back on the tax roll so they can collect more money from it. I'm telling you, you can't outrun the numbers. You can't outrun the numbers. The numbers is the numbers. They can't lie to you. They can't tax you. Y'all know y'all property tax is going up in Chicago even more, right? Who you think gonna pay for that? You think the billionaires are gonna contribute $41 billion in order to pay off y'all debt? It's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. They have to. They have to. It's happening, bro. It's happening. This is gonna play out the way that it's gonna play out, regardless of how y'all feel.
So here's the breakdown of that funding gap. The mayor's office says the state already cut the city's share of tax revenue from 10% to 6.5%. And now state lawmakers are considering another cut to 6.2%. So that small percentage change reportedly means a $60 million hit to Chicago. So, all right, you might be asking yourself, where was this money going? Is it being redirected somewhere in the state budget? So we reached out to the state legislature to see what the plan is. But right now, we haven't heard back. So Mayor Johnson also didn't hold back when it came to sharing his opinion on the Chicago Bears mega projects bill. And he really made it clear here. He is not giving up on keeping the team at Soldier Field like he proposed 2 years ago. So the mega projects bill would allow the Bears to negotiate a payment to taxing bodies like a school district, park district, and Cook County instead of paying property taxes. And the mayor started off by saying Soldier Field is the best and only place for the Bears.
I'm going to, of course, continue to fight for Chicago, but
imagine being $41 billion in debt and you look into a person that got a mohawk for solutions. Imagine a city whose police officers is getting killed. Debt is out of control. Killings, the highest killings in the entire country. There is no city, not one. I've already did the research. I showed y'all. Chicago as a city has more deaths from killing, from murder, more murders than any city in the United States of America. If you want to go per capita, per 100,000 people, then there are going to be cities that beat out Chicago, right? But the actual murders, how many murders are performed every single year? Chicago is at the top of the list. They have more murders and they have been at the top than any city in the United States of America for years running. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. This is a fact. Imagine looking at all of these things as going bad. That's why the name of this show today is Chicago is the old Detroit. Imagine all of this stuff going bad, and you look up and you say, hey, guys, we need strong leadership and we want confidence that this thing is going to really work out in our favor. And you look up and he said, hey, guys, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this for you. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. My Jesus. Because that's what we do. We as men, we provide confidence. Listen, do you know what get the girls wet? I'm going to tell you what get the girls wet. Because, see, a lot of guys are confused. Don't worry, I'm going to bring it around. I'm going to help you to understand why I'm saying this. You know what get the girls wet? You know what make her want to bust it down for a real one? I'm gonna give y'all some clues. The same thing that gives you confidence. It's the same. This is the greatest show on earth. It's the same things that give you confidence, right? It's her knowing that whatever happens, she can depend on you. She crashing out. You know what? I'm going over my. You know where they retreat to? To Big Daddy house. Man, it seemed like everything is going bad right now. And you tell her, hold on, calm down. You know I got this, right? Chill out, relax. I'm going to handle it. Weight off her shoulders, wetness down below. Weight off her shoulder when she don't have to worry about the same things that other women are frazzled by. Weight off her shoulders, pants dropping. Y'all think it's all of these other intangibles. You think it's, oh my God, you got to make sure that you get the right type of haircut. You got to wear a Gucci belt. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. It's the confidence to know, you know what, but he gonna handle that. So I'm not worried about nothing that's going on. They gonna go to bed. The fact that you can go to bed, go to sleep, and don't have to worry about what's gonna happen. You're not worried about the lights getting cut off. You know that things are gonna get taken care of. Property taxes gonna get done. Whatever it is that need to be done. Hey, hold on. They out of control. Hold on. You know what? Anton. And that ain't just relationships. It's not just relationships. It's leadership. It's leadership, right? Over on room 9, I had a conversation with the people, and it seemed like everybody was all coming together. I said, hey, listen, guys, listen, hold on. We got this. I got this. Don't worry about what's not. Y'all just keep on showing up and y'all doing what y'all supposed to do. This will subside. I'm going to take care of it. Ain't nobody taking no pay cuts. We going to keep doing exactly what we going to do. And you know what you're seeing the girls doing? Coming up there saying, oh my God, I'm having a good time. We don't, because it's the leader, it's the confidence to know that this thing is going to be handled. Don't worry about what's going on right here. That's my job. Your job is to show up and do what I told you to do. So imagine you show up and you're trying to figure out, I don't know what's going on with this city. Are we going to go into bankruptcy? Am I going to lose my business? Am I going to get laid off? Is my property taxes going up? What am I going to do? You know what I see the women and the ladies in Chicago doing right now? They panicking. They panicking. Because when they look to their mayor's office and they look to their alderman and they see this guy with this mohawk on, they have no confidence whatsoever that they can win this thing and come out on the other side of it without taking some very serious lashings. The people in Chicago are not feeling confident about life for them right now. I'm telling you, bro. See, Black Lives Matters, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that all is cool. Feminism, it all goes out the window when you start losing your home and you start having problems with your employment. Guess what? Nobody cares about all of your civil rights movements anymore. They trying to figure out how they gonna survive. They trying not to end up on the street. Try not to lose their mama house. Don't nobody care about that when you broke. When your property taxes is going up and you can't afford to live. And it ain't because of the economy, it's because of bad leadership in the city. People want to know that things are going to be all right and you're going to handle it. Whatever it looks like, we going to be okay. And they don't feel confident when they look over into the mayor's office in Chicago. When they look to Karen Bass, imagine that you're going through turmoil, your house is being burned up, and you're trying to figure out if everything is going to look okay. And you turn around and you look at Karen Bass's head. Oh, we all going to die. We're going to lose everything. We're going to die. We all going to be homeless living in an RV park. If I got it, let me show you. Let's go through an exercise. Hey guys, everything is in shambles. We losing everything and we trying to figure out if we gonna make it. Oh man, we need tough leadership. Who do you got? We all going. I don't feel good about this anymore. I feel as though I'm going to lose everything. I have no confidence. If you ask me, who you got? Do you have confidence? Do you have confidence in your leadership that things are going to be okay? I don't. I don't. Hey guys, everything is falling. Things are looking bad for the whole city. The children are losing schools. They're about to shut down 17 different schools over here. Guys, what are we going to do? How are things going to play out? Can we fix this situation? Can we get out of this alive? I don't know. What do you think, Anton? Do you think that well, let's turn to leadership. We all going down. We're all going down. Hey guys, listen. We don't know if everything is going to just completely collapse within the city, right? I mean, I'm having a tough time believing. That we're going to make it out of this thing alive. I really do. Well, who do you got over there? Well, I got a new mayor for you. Show him to me. You know what? We might as well just try to get out while we can. You got the moving van packed? I'm going to go start looking for new jobs. I'm going to start looking for new jobs. If this is what I'm leaning into, we all gonna die. We all gonna lose it all. We lose it all. We losing everything. We gonna lose mama house. We losing our jobs. The police ain't coming. Ain't nobody coming to save us. We all going. Oh my God. We all going down. We going down. Oh, I got another one for y'all. How about another one? Let's do one more. And this will segue right into the next segment. All right. Hey guys, we losing everything. We don't know what to do anymore. Seems like all of the businesses are leaving, including Starbucks. Who do you got? Scarecrow. Ladies and gentlemen, before I read super chats, I want to introduce you to the Seattle mayor. The Seattle mayor. This is the latest and the greatest Seattle mayor, ladies and gentlemen. The person who is literally running the city into the ground. Yes. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Seattle mayor. And people are questioning her leadership, and she just got into office. They're already questioning her leadership. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
There is declining further comment about a series of viral moments that have overshadowed any sort of policy discussion and raised new concerns about.
Who says that? Who says that the ones that's going to leave, bye, we don't care? You know that in most of these cities, the lifeblood of what you're able to do and get done is the businesses that pay the taxes and employ the people in those cities. You know, one of the reasons why Detroit is making such a roaring comeback right now, it's not just because we cleaned up the city. It's not just because of the people. It's also the business leaders that partnered with Mike Duggan and all of the city council to work very, very hard on revitalizing and bringing in people. I remember when Dan Gilbert years ago, because this was really the precipice of what really started hitting, right? This put everything in motion. Dan Gilbert was running Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage, or whatever, and I think it was named something different back then. And he was a heavy advertiser for the Pistons. The Pistons was at the Palace of Auburn Hills. It wasn't even in Detroit. And the Lions was moving back from Pontiac, the Pontiac Silverdome. They decided to move into the city. They built Ford Field. And so it was a city plan to kind of put together and move all of these entities back into the city and invest heavily. And Dan Gilbert took every single employee and he bought a building and he decided to move all of those employees into the city. And then he said, anybody that lives, work, and plays in the city, we'll give you incentives when it comes to housing and all of this stuff. And that right there was the light bulb moment when I knew personally Greektown coming back, Midtown coming back, downtown coming back, Sherwood Forest about to go back exploding, Palmer Woods, Palmer Park, Boston Edison District, all of these places about to be on 10. That's when I started staking my claim and I started investing in the city significantly. Because once he moved all of his employees back into the city and he actually moved his headquarters into the city, you start seeing a whole bevy of different people that was investing significant amount of money. Significant. Small businesses started to pop up, investments. He was working. I remember Dan Gilbert. It was a girl that owned a store called the Detroit is the New Black. And I was in the store talking to her. And she was telling me that he was investing and allowing for small businesses to use retail space and to start up their businesses and all of that other type of stuff. What am I saying? I'm saying that you have to have a relationship. You can't villainize rich people, poor people, middle-class people. Everybody has to have a stake in the success of the city, and everybody got to want to see it win. That's how you start to see stuff prosper. There are no bad guys. Everybody is supposed to be a good guy because everybody wants to see the city win. You can't look at somebody and say you're a bad billionaire because you're a billionaire. What? That's leverage. That's a tool. We all need to work with each other because we got. And so we dug in. That's when the logo came up. And then you see my man came up with the clothing brand, Detroit versus everybody. That became the slogan. It's us versus everybody. Either you with us or you against us. And that became the slogan from a corporate perspective. That became the slogan when it came to the artists, all of the rappers. They stopped beefing with each other. They, of course, it's going to be the little stuff, but they start fixing stuff. You've seen all of the artists whenever we have a public feud, it ain't public. It's private. You handle it at junk in private. You don't talk negative about your brother and sister. You handle it in person, or you don't handle it at all and you keep it. Tommy Walker. Shout out to Tommy Walker. And so you needed that public, private, everybody all in. We gonna get it together. We be pissed when somebody do something to embarrass us downtown. People was on high alert. Hey man, don't come down here during the draft doing something that you ain't supposed to do. This is the national TV here. It's just like when your parents, right? It's like when your parents have company over. Now, don't you embarrass us when we over here. All right? Be on your best behavior. We be pissed. Somebody coming up in here trying to cause problems and trouble. Hey, man, what you doing? I was so proud the other day they did what I did. Dude tried to throw some stuff. He missed the garbage can, and my man was like, hey, bro, you just going to leave that right there? They started questioning where he from. They said, hey, man, where you from? You must not be from the city, bro. We don't just throw stuff on the ground. You got to pick that up, bro. And he hit him with the no disrespect, but you got to pick that up. I said, I felt so proud. I was so proud. So proud. Because you can't alienate people that actually contribute to the society. If you're going to alienate somebody, you alienate the criminals and go after them. Got to show love to the people. That's why I know y'all don't know this, but y'all got to pay attention. I know. Listen, I'm going to give y'all, for all of the people that watch, but they really don't like, so they watching the clouds. I'm going to do this one for you. That's why I don't block people. That's why I celebrate the chat. The very thing that people hate about y'all, man, I hate they troll in the chat. Got something to say about me. They disagree with me. Oh, block them. Get them up out of there. Send them to the gulag. I'm the opposite. I'll be like, man, chat is them my homies. They're a little unruly misfitish sometimes. They're a little crazy, but they good, man. Leave the chat alone, man. We don't block the chat. So what? They disagree. So much they talking junk. So what? They troll you. So what? They call you got a big head. Whatever. That's cool. Cat back. Because we have this partnership that just works. You say what you want to say. You engage. I say what I want to say. It creates a phenomenal show. I feed off your energy. You feed off my energy. We win. We winning together. We win. Even the people that I go off on, they can't stay away. You know why? Because they get to say what they want to say and they can still say what they got to say. I'm teaching my room 9 friends to embrace y'all the way that I embrace y'all. But I've been in this for a long time, so I got a little bit thicker skin. I'm telling you, these politicians, they ruining y'all city, man.
What you saw on camera was interrupted by one of the junior level staffers. She did come back to me after the event that she was having last week to answer that question. I asked her again whether she was going to suggest any sort of policy change when it comes to surveillance cameras in the city because of what she went through. And she did tell me no at this point, that she believes there does need to be a full audit of that program and there needs to be a balance here between privacy and public safety. That's the story.
Yes, let's just get right to it. You did a survey of members here, AWB members. What did it tell you?
Yeah, this is our quarterly statewide survey of employers throughout Washington State. And what we've seen is what we actually feared. A collapse in business confidence has continued in our state. And what we're seeing now is employers are actively considering moving and relocating from Washington State. So I would say what the data here shows us, this should be considered a medical emergency for Washington's economy.
Why? Why has it got to that point?
Well, you have now 1 in 4 employers are actively considering moving. That's up 7 percentage points in the last quarter. 55% of employers are considering moving their personal residence. That's up 9 percentage points since the last quarter. And 72% now cite Washington's tax burden as the top challenge to doing business in Washington State.
More businesses are going to be leaving these liberal cities, and they're going to leave y'all with holding the bag. Last one out, turn the lights off. The problem is that I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think that we was lucky being the first biggest city to file for bankruptcy during the 2008 crisis. It was a perfect time for us to reset and then make the adjustment so that we can eventually grow and get up out of this mess. I feel sorry for Seattle. I feel sorry for Portland. I feel sorry for LA. I feel sorry for Chicago. I feel sorry for these large cities that's going to be going through it. I do. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. And all of the places that a lot of these people are moving to, everybody going to rush into other places to try to stake their claim after they see it happening. And I've been telling y'all this for a while. If I'm prospecting, do you know what I would do if I was a new content creator and I'm looking for a new place to put on? One of my strategies was not to. Kevin Samuels wanted a lot of the content creators to move to Atlanta and come and work together and kind of collaborate and all of that stuff. And I was against it, because I was just so gung-ho about my city. I always felt like if I could become one of the most significant people in the city without ever leaving, then that will be worth more than me going into like a Me Too situation and trying to be like everybody that's in Atlanta, everybody that's in New York, everybody that's in Miami, and all of that stuff. And so I think that if you're a content creator, I think that you need to be focused on becoming the biggest in your city. And then that's when become the franchise player of your city. You want to be Tim Duncan. You want to be Kobe. Right? Everybody can't be Jordan. Everybody can't be LeBron. We know LeBron owned Cleveland. Listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Stop moving out. Stop going to different places and become the man in your city. Listen, bro. Listen. I could be wrong on this, but I'm so confident in it. I think Memphis is next. I'm not just talking about from a content creation perspective, bro. You go into Memphis because if you become the hometown kid, everybody love you. There's nowhere I can't go inside of the city and I'm not the man. I go wherever I want to go and people treat me like a king no matter where I go in the city because I'm the hometown kid that held it down. I think Memphis is next, bro. I do. I have so much confidence in Memphis. I think that Memphis is going to be prime location for the next great city. I do. I think so highly of Memphis. I think that Memphis got it, bro. I do. It got all of the things, all of the qualities. It got a great state tax rate. It got culture. It got history. It has low cost. It has every single fundamental building block. And all y'all got to do is put it together, bro. St. Louis. I think Memphis is next, though. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I think Memphis is next. I believe so heavily in Memphis. It's got it. It's got it. Y'all just need some trailblazers, couple great businessmen, people investing, change the culture, and y'all could do it, bro. I'm telling you. The thing that you don't want to do as an investor is you don't want to chase other people. You want to be ahead of the curve, not behind the curve. To get behind the curve is to suffer. To get ahead of the curve is to prosper. To get ahead of the curve is to prosper. And you know what I hate for my people? You know what I hate for the culture? I hate the fact that all of y'all is on some Me Too type stuff. Just get the hell out of Atlanta. Get the hell out of Houston. Get the hell out of these places that ain't for you. It's costing you too much money to try to survive in a place that's not conducive for what it is that you got going on. If you want to get rich, if you want to own your property, if you want to minimize your taxes, if you want to create a new culture, if you want to create pockets of greatness, you're going to have to create it yourself. Stop looking for somebody else to give it to you and go and create it in the spaces that's going to be ideal for you. You got to create the culture that you want to see. That's what we did in Detroit. We embraced our history. We embraced house music, techno music. We embraced Jitten. We embraced Detroit versus everybody. We created our own sound. We had our own sound. We wasn't trying to be like Atlanta. We wasn't trying to be like New York. We wasn't trying to be like LA. We had our own sound. And we embraced it and we celebrated our own celebrities. We didn't care about nobody else that came to our game. We highlight our own celebrities. We came up with our own ice cam. We embraced the hustlers culture. You got to figure out what's great about Memphis and you got to promote that and celebrate it. And you got to invest. It's going to take some real brave people to come in there and invest. And if you make a reputation for yourself, then you will be embraced by the people that's over there because they want to eat with you. Got to feed the wolves. You got to feed the wolves. Invest in the people. Show them some love. Go and do some great things in the community. Be seen, right? Put it on the map. You got to put it on the map, bro. Put your city on the map and invest in your own city and then prosper. That's the play. We so busy looking at somebody to save you. You got your own cities. You got your own city. I told y'all. Some of y'all was sitting there telling me, oh man, no, it's going to cost too much. I showed y'all all kind of prospecting opportunities for land. I didn't forget. June. I'm in Memphis in June. I'm in Memphis in June. I don't care nothing about Nashville. Nashville was cool, but I went to Nashville to learn what I would have to do if I was to go and invest in Memphis. I think that Memphis is Memphis is mine, bro. Memphis is mine. I think that Memphis is mine. Because y'all priced out of everywhere else. You priced out of everywhere else. If you want to win, you're going to have to invest in your own spaces. Build the relationship with the city council. Build the relationship with the business people. Help them to understand and how you can add value. Work together. I think that Memphis is mine, bro. I think it got it, bro. It got it. It got all of the good bones. It got all of the opportunity. Oh man, I wish I could show y'all what I think. I wish I could like put it in you sometimes. I wish I could just like help you see it for yourself. Sometimes we so hard-headed, we so hard-headed, we so weak and stupid. All right. When I buy a place in Memphis, don't say nothing. When I buy a place in Memphis, don't say nothing. Because all they promote is the negative. They want to promote the crime and all of that stuff. Man, that junk can be fixed. That's small. That's small. Let me see something. Memphis, Tennessee. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Homes is so unaffordable. That's because you all y'all want to do is move to y'all want to move to places that don't even want y'all. They don't even like y'all. They don't even like y'all. Y'all keep going to places that don't even like y'all. Oh, yeah. Memphis is up. Y'all ready. Memphis is ready. Cheap. Everything is cheap. Everything is cheap in Memphis. See, I'm not the type of person that's going to sit there and argue with you and keep going back and forth about what you think the opportunities are and how everything is too expensive. I'm going to just show you. I'm going to just go ahead and make a move. I'm going to bust a move all day, every day. I'm busting a move all day, every day. For sale. No. Deselect. Land. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. $8 acres for $50,000. $4,300 square feet lot for $10K. $3,800 for land. Anton, it ain't nothing available no more. Half an acre for $5K. $15 acres for $95,000. 15 acres. Memphis. I'm tired of everybody telling me about what's not available, what ain't we can't do, how much it's gonna cost, all of this stuff. I'm not about to sit here and argue with people. Where everybody see despair, I see opportunity. Where everybody else see despair, I see opportunity. Too many people are trying to chase behind other people to try to be like them. You want to go and live in California where they're going to charge you $3 million for this little shack. No, for what? For what? Do your due diligence. Go and talk to the city council. See if it's any liens. Go look at the restrictions, all of that other type of stuff. We up. We up. It's the perfect place, right in the middle of the country. Not in the middle, but, you know, right down there south. They got a basketball team. They got great colleges up there. It's one of the blackest cities. What more do you want? It's opportunity. It's cheap land. It's running it up. Y'all gonna let Elon Musk buy it all up? Because he buying all of the land in Memphis. Elon is buying all of the land in Memphis. Buying it all up, and y'all just letting them do it and sitting there complaining, oh man, I don't know what's going on. All right, don't worry about it. When I fly to Memphis, I'm not gonna come back and tell y'all what I found. I'm giving it to my bag chasers. I'm going to Memphis, and I'm scheduled to be in Memphis in June. I already booked my ticket, so I'll be in Memphis in June. And I'm gonna be there for at least a week or two. I'll probably extend it for maybe 3 weeks because I got to be there doing some due diligence. So we're gonna be prospecting and looking at different property and all of that type of stuff. So we'll be in Memphis. I don't care nothing about what nobody else talking about. Everybody just talking. Everybody want to they complaining. They gonna go on TikTok. They ain't doing nothing. We doing everything. We doing everything. I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about, bro. I'm going to Memphis in June. I'm gonna be in St. Louis in July. I'm hitting all of the cities. I'm buying everything up. For what? I don't need no investors. I put my own. Come on, Chris Cunningham. You know I put my own money up. I put my own money up. I put my own money up. I don't need no help. Let me see. Just want to look up something else before I wrap it up. I own everything, bro. Everything. Owning everything. Buying everything and owning everything. That's all I want. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Well, I'm going to get there. I got so many ideas, bro. It's just the time and implementing it. They can tell AI to make a healthy grocery list for a family of 4 under $100, including whatever specialty items they want. I did it live streaming. That's crazy. They can. Coach Chris says, should I buy into Chick-fil-A or Dunkin' Donuts? Neither. I'm that dude says, Anton about to have an AI girlfriend. That's baby girl. AR's back says, what time is it there? Why aren't these men at work? Facts. T. Robinson says, I think that this is the wrong move for the community, trying to keep Walgreens to stay instead of going back to how we were in the 40s. Oh, Chicago is canceled. All right, then that means I can go to Memphis. My trip to Chicago is canceled, so I'm gonna probably be in Memphis. Actually, I think I'm gonna go to Memphis this month. Hold on, T. Robinson. Let me just see something real quick. Flights. Hey, I want to see what the flights is looking like now that Memphis, Tennessee. Oops, Detroit, Memphis. Let's see, May. What month we in? May? Why is it in real money? I don't want it in real money. I want it in regular money. How did I put this back in regular money? How do I put this back in regular money? Oh my gosh, I can't. How do I put this in regular money? They got me they got me looking at this in fun coupons. What in the world is this? How do I get this out of fun coupons? Oh my God. Oh, currency. All right. Come on, man. Give me regular currency. US dollar. All right, there we go. Fun coupons. Prices is currently high. All right, so let's say hypothetically I wanted to do this out to July. Let's go this to that. I could do it for $314 round trip. So why y'all tripping? You can still get on Frontier. Frontier is still giving y'all the cheap price, $314 round trip. We're not gonna ride Frontier though. We did on that. Let's go Memphis. It's only an hour. No, it's not an hour. 2 hours. $579. Let's go first class. Nonstop $769. Come back Sunday morning, nonstop. No, you don't want to leave that early. $700. Best Memphis hotels. The Peabody. Still got me in fun coupons. Get me out of fun coupons, bro. Is that the best Memphis hotel, the Peabody? Arrive Memphis, James Lee House. Y'all ain't got no 5-star hotels in Memphis? Do y'all got 5-star hotels in Memphis? Oh well. Anyway, so we gonna hit. I think we gonna hit. No. Okay, hold on. Let's keep Memphis for June. We're gonna go on prospect over in Memphis in June. Cause I need to go to Vegas. I gotta go to Vegas. I gotta get this Vegas. I gotta get to Vegas before it get too hot. Because once it get like 114, 111, that becomes a little bit of a problem. They ain't got no 5-star hotels in Memphis. So I gotta get I think I'm gonna get to Vegas, and then we're gonna go to Memphis, and then we're gonna do St. Louis. All right. How about we do a meetup? Y'all want to do a meetup in Memphis? Y'all want to do a meetup in Memphis in June? A June Memphis meetup? Y'all don't want to do a meetup in Memphis? They said no. They don't want to do a meetup in Memphis, and I mean we got to do it somewhere else. All right, well we'll do it somewhere else. Y'all some party poopers. Y'all some party, man. Memphis is probably gonna be lit. Memphis is probably gonna be lit, and y'all out here being party poopers. Here we go. Y'all want to go to Atlanta. Y'all might. Well, okay, so this is what we do. We'll plan for the meetup in one of y'all major cities. And then the people that's close to Memphis, I'll just let y'all know when I'm there, and we'll link up separately from all of the rest of the people that's scared to go to Memphis. We gonna link up. We gonna have a good time. Drinks on me. It's a bet. Shout out to T. Robinson says, I think that this is the wrong move for the community, trying to keep the Walgreens to stay instead of going back to how we were from the 40s to the 80s. We had our own pharmacies. What up to Lex? Lex says, I disagree with you, but I love you. A gamer girl survives. That's because Lex loves guns. So Lex is automatically going to say that a gamer girl survives because she loves guns. That don't count. Earl Howard says, ADC, you see the Louisiana sheriff facing 30 felonies. I heard about that. I could talk about it tomorrow. What's a city you believe you could invest in and rehab if you tore it down figuratively and rebuild it successfully? I don't think that you need to tear down a city. I just think you need to embrace the culture. You got to embrace aspects of the culture in order to make it successful. Memphis and St. Louis are the next things that I'm prospecting in. Coach Chris says, who is the top telecommunications company and why? I don't have a top telecommunications company. I've been with AT&T since I got an iPhone. So I just been rocking with AT&T. That's it. Super Chat's got me broke says, dang, AD sounds presidential as F. Give me Rubio's vibes. Lex, please says, should have saved my Scholastic book fair money when I was in kindergarten. Cutie Executive says, yo, AD, is Black Lives Matter, not Black Lives Matter. You got to leave off the S. For scam, you got to leave off the last S for the scam. Shout out to the Chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon, man. Y'all crazy. Coach Chris says, what's your boundaries before someone is banned? I'm going to approach it differently, Coach Chris. I'm going to say, I'm going to approach it the same way that my parents used to approach me when it came to setting rules and boundaries. You don't have any rules, but if you're not reasonable and if you can't control yourself, then that's a bigger problem that we have with you. And so that's when we start to evaluate that you're going to get banned. Y'all grown. Y'all grown. Like, I'm not about going forward. I'm not setting no ground rules. I'm not telling y'all what y'all can and can't do. Be reasonable. Act like you got some sense and enjoy the chat and let's get it off. That's it. That's it. Be reasonable. Take care of your business. Be an adult. Ain't no ground rules. I'm not looking to ban nobody. I don't want to ban nobody. I'm not interested in banning nobody. I want everybody to come in and have a good time. And let's have some fun doing these live streams on a daily basis. I'm not interested in banning. I don't want to ban nobody. And so I would hope y'all give me the same energy that I give y'all. I'm not interested in banning you, and I'm hoping you're not interested in getting banned. And I want to enjoy y'all and have a good time. I ain't on that. Y'all grown. Let's figure it out, y'all. Let's have fun. I ain't interested in banning nobody. I don't want nobody to go away. I like all the comments. I like when people disagree. I like when people agree. I like when people joke back. I like when people cap on me. I cap back at y'all. I ain't on that type of time, bro. I don't put no limits. Y'all, like, I don't tell y'all can't curse or nothing like that. I just let y'all do your thing. Do I ever travel past hack using my points and rewards? Yeah, that's what I'm here for right now. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm doing right now. Flights paid for, hotel rooms paid for. All of this is points. All right, let me see something. I'll show you. I don't cap. I don't lie. I'll show you what I did for Memphis too. I mean, for Manchester. Let's see all transactions, activity. Where's the redemptions? When did we go to Manchester? Do it even show redemptions? Yep, here it is right here. Hold on, let me make sure it ain't no sensitive information on here. All right. Use 360,000 points. Transaction, and I got 1.5 times for Chase Travel. I use it on April 11th. Amount charged to the card $0. It was for a hotel, and it tells you all of the different nights. Amount charged, zero, amount charged. Because I booked 3 rooms, so $177.99 and $83, and I paid $0, and this is for hotels. And so this is what I use. I use 154,000 points from Chase Travel when I went over to Manchester. And so I paid for my hotel. My hotel was free. So Hotel free, baby. So when I go places and I do the same thing when I book, you know, if it's have to be personal, then I'll use my points. If it's personal, then I'll use my points. If it's not personal, so I'll show you this. And I always like to show receipts. Rio de Janeiro. See that? I'm not about to I'm not spending no money that I don't have to spend personally. If I can't justify it from a business expense, it's got to go on the points. Got to go on points. So, got to be smart, y'all. Just because you got money don't mean that you need to spend a whole bunch of money. Speak common sense on a daily basis, and several times when available. Hope people listen, get themselves together. Thank you. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. STL is up. Tech world is crazy down here. St. Louis is up. Tech world is crazy down here. I'm gonna come to St. Louis. I ain't been there yet. Wavy Haitian says, can you go over Ron DeSantis restricting in Florida? 4 more Republican seats earned. I can go over it tomorrow if that's what y'all want me to do. Say the word, I'll come to Memphis too. I'm going to get mine. Y'all got to get yours. AD Memphis is May is going on now. Look it up. Memphis in May. What is Memphis in May? A month-long international festival in Memphis celebrating culture, music, and food in Tom Lee Park. Open Fire World Championship, barbecue cooking contest May 15th. Great American River Run. Yeah, but what about Vegas? I want to go to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas. I miss Las Vegas. Wesley Turner says 80 got me wanting to devour acquiring assets like Galactus. Once you start to buy stuff and you start to buy property and land and all of that stuff, it becomes addictive. Like it kind of replaces, how people kind of get a rush with getting a new car, or you might get a rush with getting something sweet, or you might get something rare or some sneaks, or you might get, a new watch or something like that. That kind of worn off of me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get excited at none of that type of stuff. I don't really care about buying a new watch and stuff like that. And so now, when you acquire, one thing that I've always acquired that I've always gotten excited about every time I buy something, and you spend a gob of money, is acquiring an asset. Like I get a rush when I add to my stock portfolio, or I get a rush if I'm buying a piece of land and I'm able to execute on it, and I go to closing. You call the titling company, you give them proof of funds, and then you go to closing within a week. That gives me a sense of like it's exciting for me, and it's like, oh man, I got another one. And so that's kind of my thing now. Like I don't care about watches. I don't care about none of that stuff. I do care about being fresh when I hit the streets, but I don't care about any of that type of stuff. This is my regular uniform. This is my work uniform. And then I got when I hit the streets, you got all of that type of stuff. So, yep. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all tonight on the Q Show. Peace.